That's good. Yuan. Hi, Yuan. Morning, Yuan.
Hello, good morning.
Batu Kawan or Georgetown?
Georgetown.
Georgetown. Which school are
Yeah.
you from, Yuan?
School of Hospitality and Tourism.
Hospitality. All right. So, what courses do you teach?
I teach culinary arts,
Oh,
pastries.
you're a
Yeah,
culinary arts. You're a chef, huh?
yeah.
Specifically, pastry, hot kitchen?
Pastries and bakery.
Pastry. All right. That's good. That's good. Okay. We'll be starting soon. There's some more of our colleagues that should be joining us very soon. So just give them a few minutes. It is 9 a.m. sharp, ladies. Normally, for those of you who have been to my sessions, I'm a stickler to time. I will always start on time, but I understand by the list I have another 3 or 4 more, and being this compulsory for confirmation, can we give them another 2 minutes? Okay, all right, that's good. Yeah. Oh, one more just join. Ong Poeng, Poheng. Hi, Poheng. Can you please switch on your camera, Poheng? Okay, maybe Mr. or Miss Poheng is moving around at the moment. So we will just leave our colleague. By the way, Poheng is from business school in Penang. All right. So before we start, very welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first session of ACiD Trip. Now, as this is an important session, what I will do is today, you will spend with me quite a bit of time. Why? Because we are trying to kill two birds with one stone. The reason is because normally this takes place over a period of 2 sessions. But I understand your calendar, most of you pretty tight. So we try to structure it in a way that I'll be able to cover it in one morning itself, the 2 key sessions. Then subsequently we'll go along. But before we start, it is important for us, let's break the ice a little bit. Can we go around the session, introduce yourself to your colleagues, and also which school are you from? All right. Who are you? What is your role and which school are you from? Okay, maybe we can start with Jennifer. So happen on the list, you are just next to me here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm Jennifer Rainey from UWUG, from SONA, School of Nursing and Allied Health Department. So currently, I was teaching post-basic in critical care background, but currently, because of the intake, I'm teaching a diploma in nursing.
Okay. Jennifer, can I
Yeah.
ask? You are not new, right? I've seen you here quite some
Uh,
time already.
yes, yeah, that's true. But I took a gap due to my family
Oh,
issues.
okay.
Yeah, I took a leave for some time, then I rejoined. Yeah, so
Ah,
according to the policy, they asked me to go through the training again.
Oh, yes, yes, that is how it is. That's why I know I have gone through a
Mhm.
session with you before.
Yes, yes, that's
Yes,
true,
yes,
sir.
yes. Thank you very
It's
much.
okay.
Thank you very much.
I really like to hear from you the way you talk. So
Mm,
hopefully I will enjoy the whole session.
you will. Don't worry, you will. All right.
Okay,
All right. Next, can I
thank
have Miss
you.
Prema?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Prema. I am from the School of Law, currently the program leader. I'm teaching business, the School of Business. I'm doing company law and I'm teaching English for fundamental legal system for the foundation in art students. Yes.
Okay. All right. Prema, welcome, welcome. Prema, I know a little bit because the documents do come to my table. But
I
I have to admit, I have not met you very much in person, sitting down and so on. There's something that
Yes.
I will have to do. Okay.
Yes, and
Okay.
also I was from KDU, so I am
Correct.
a previous student as well. So
As
yeah.
a previous student, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't mind us asking what year was that?
2012, I would say.
2012. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
In our old campus lah.
PJ.
So you went for, maybe you're new a little bit. We used to have an old campus in PJ,
Yes,
Petaling Jaya.
in
Beautiful place. Yes.
section 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you were
was
in
in
the
that
section
camp.
17 area.
Yes,
So
yeah.
we were in Petaling Jaya, but we needed to shift because the building there was a little bit too small. And the ministry told us, if you want to be a university, you need to have a bigger premise.
Yeah.
So we, under Paramount, we are very good. We follow rules and regulation. So we shifted to Glen Marie, spent millions and millions of dollars. And then eventually we found out there are some universities that are running from shop block. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yep, I do. Yes.
Welcome to Malaysia sometime.
Yeah.
But Paramount, our previous, later I'll talk to you all a little bit, very, very much prim and proper in the way that they do things. So they say, government say we need a bigger building, bigger premise, we shift. Okay. And then I have Miss Uy.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, my name is Yuwen. I come from the School of Culinary Arts, Hospitality, and Tourism. I'm one of the new lecturers here. So yeah, I'm also previously I'm a student here as well.
What year you went?
Very recent.
Very recent.
Two
Very
thou-
good. Very good. You
Yeah.
must be very good for them to hire you.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. Okay, that's good. Can I try Po Heng? Can you hear us? Totally not there. Anyway, my name is Gabriel. I am the head of Teaching and Learning Center for UOW Malaysia. So I also do cover Penang, and also I am the principal of UOW Malaysia KDU College. So I wear two hats. But before I took off these positions, I was actually the deputy dean of School of Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Art. So I am actually from the culinary itself. And for your information, Yuan, I was teaching in Penang for one semester in 2008. That time you were still playing marbles and what, right? Not right. 2008, that was like 17 years ago.
I was
So
still
there
in
was
primary school.
one semester, every Friday I'm in Penang to teach. So morning, 7:10 flight, finish, come back, take the 5:30 or 4:45 flight. It was for 1 week. For one semester. So initially it was very unique. You will see same people every Friday doing the same thing, going to Penang to work and coming back. But after the third and fourth day, you feel yourself like an idiot because this is so tiring. All right. But it was very interesting, going down to Penang to teach itself. I've been with UOW for quite a few years. I joined in 2001. So this is like my 25th year, 25th year already. So I joined 1st of January 2001. So that is quite a few years over there. So there's always two things they always say. Either the company is so good that I would like to stay for so many years, or I'm hopeless that I cannot go anywhere. All right, so very good. Just to lighten up a little bit because it's a Friday morning. I think it is very important to make sure that we are on a relaxed environment so that we can actually absorb what we are going to speak today. So for today, there are two key areas that I would like to stretch. One is on the matter pertaining to an introduction to acid trip itself. And the second part, I should take the first part roughly an hour and a half. I'll give you a short break. Then we are going to go to the OBE side of things. Okay, very important. So these two are actually bed buddies that it actually works together. I will try to complete before the stipulated time of 1 p.m. But I do have until 1 p.m. But I believe by maybe 12-ish, I should be able to be done. Will that be fine? Okay, so anytime you have any questions, feel free to ask, especially on the OBE side, because ministry and also MQA now very particular on certain OBE aspects. Okay, now, so I'm going to start. So what does ACiD trip mean? ACiD trip stands for Accelerated Introduction to Teaching, Research, and Pedagogy. So it is not an acid trip as what you think somebody gets an acid trip, but it is more on what we will emphasize on teaching, research, and pedagogy. This session is required by all colleagues who have rejoined us or are new colleagues, regardless of how many years they have been in the industry. So if you even have been teaching in Sunway Tailors for 20 years, you come to UOW, you still need to go through. Cannot run away on this one. So this is one key aspect on the confirmation side that they will actually look into your completion. Okay. Now, today, basically, it is called the welcome session. Today is really very much a historical lesson. Okay, it's really an historical lesson. I need to tell you about how we come to where we are. All right, because we are who we are due to our history. History is the one that develops and structured us to where we are today. So I need to stress on the matter of history, on how we came about. Okay, so basically today we are going to talk about the object, or what is that, as we have already covered a little bit on that, the historical side, also the expectation of being an academic, students of today, what is expected from you, and basically how you will be assessed. So it gives you a snapshot on the academic aspect that is critical in the way that you do your work and in the way that what is expected from you. Now, I believe you all also would have gone through the HR orientation, correct? Now, however, HR orientation is very much on principles, policies of being a staff. This is basically being an academic staff. So what is expected of being an academic staff here in UOW Malaysia? All right, okay. Now, so when we talk about the acid trip sessions, there are 6 key sessions over there. It'll be done by different individuals. Normally, it'll be done in 6 different weeks. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to structure it in the way that if we are able to combine 2 in a day, it will save you all a lot of time. Okay, because we do understand one key issue that we got from past participants is the schedule. All right, the schedule, your timing that you have. Some of you may have classes, some of you this and that, and if you miss 2 of the sessions, then it's a bit of a headache because HR will not be able to sign the documents before there is a completion of all of these aspects over there. So as you can see, today we are going to do 1 and 2. A welcome and also on principles of OBE, very important. And then lesson plan and assessment, classroom management practices. Then there's going to be research, very important, because being a university, even though some of you are under the college, but under the big umbrella of UOW Malaysia, research is something that we strongly encourage. Now, why am I stressing this? Because traditionally, when we started off as a college, we were a teaching institution. All right, colleges were mainly teaching institution, but as we evolve towards a university, then the switch is required over there. The institution is required not only to apply knowledge, but to develop new knowledge. So when you talk about the development of knowledge, that is where research comes in. All right, and this is something that we actually can't run away from that. Okay. And of course, at the end, we're talking about e-learning, blended learning, the use of artificial intelligence, and so on. All right. And this is something that we cannot run away. Artificial intelligence in learning and in our everyday life, it is something that we have to accept it face on. and be able to adapt towards it. All right. Even if you look into general principles, teaching and learning principles here in UOW, we do not discourage using AI. We do not. We embrace AI. However, it needs to be guided by the subject lecturer. All right. So you as a subject lecturer, you will then guide the student on what can or cannot be used. All right. The reason is because we cannot shy away from the changes that's impacting academia, especially on AI, and eventually our students will lose out. All right. So what is important for us, guys? What is important for us is this. We are here tasked to ensure that our students, when they graduate, they go out from our doors, they are competent. They are competent. May it be nursing, may it be in the legal fraternity, may it be in SHTCA, they must be competent. And the reality today is to be competent, there must be ability and in the right ethical use of AI. That, as you can hear, I put the word ethical use inside there. So they must know how to use ethically. All right. We cannot tell them cannot use itself. Okay. I can also give you a short anecdote over here. Couple of months ago, a little bit more than that, Industrial Advisory Board for computing school. And one key aspect that the industry advisors actually tell us is your student must know AI, must know. It's not that, no, it's must know. You got to make sure they're competent, because now with that, it assists in a lot of the things that we do, the menial tasks that is being done. But the creative idea and the inspiration still comes from the human being. But we use the technology to assist in the flow of the process itself. So it is a must. So this is something that we also need to understand from that. Okay. So these are the sessions of the ACiD trip. Every time you come, like your presence over here is already recorded. So I hope, Poheng, you will join us very soon, because attendance is by video. All right. So however it is, if you are unable to log in through video and you're on campus, please log out and log back in again. I understand you may be still driving and so on, but this is something very important. All right. Okay. As I stressed earlier, the objective as an induction program for all staff, stressing on teaching and learning with research, pedagogical deliverables, on what you do, and of course, interdepartment sharing and facilitation. These are the objectives of what the ACiD trip is all about. All right. Another thing that we would like to strongly stress upon is the interdepartmental sharing. Why? In a traditional sense, you will see that UOW is structured by faculties. Okay, we have engineering, we have law, SO, a School of Social Sciences. Then also we have things such as like communication, hotel, and so on. But what we have seen is the future is not in silo. You cannot see the future in silo. Then it could be nursing and engineering, how it grows over there. It could be hospitality and law. All right. So this is what we are seeing, the hybrid nature of academia, because the industry is expecting this hybrid nature. So this is something that we also want to start in-house. In-house as in like here we have different departments and so on. We want integration over there. It is very clear because I give you an example. A month ago, there was a research retreat that was organized, by the Postgraduate Research Center in Ipoh. It was a one-night retreat. Some of you may have heard, because some of your colleagues may have gone. Next time is you're going to be your turn. Definitely must go. Why? Because the whole idea was the industry is already telling us, guys, we want interdisciplinary research. We want that. So we are very comfortable in our own silo. All right, because we speak the same language with people that are in our own faculty. So what happened is we have this workshop to ensure integration. So during this session itself, it was organized that individual groups were very much interdisciplinary. All right, so I have people in my group that were in business, in engineering, and so on and so on and so on. And that created a very unique environment for ideas, because a problem seen by people from the same discipline, based on discipline and teaching, they will look at it from one way. This is how I was taught. But you have people from different discipline, they see it differently. The engineers, I tell you, Dr. Yap and his gang, the engineers very, very one way, because for the mathematics, 1 + 1 is 2. Then I have the Mr. Lu and his gang, the creative people. For them, 1 + 1 can be 2, depending on the environment. All right, so they look at it differently, and from there you are able to craft up different kinds of problem statements, different kinds of issues, and it was very I would say beneficial. That's something that was done, and this is something we would like to continue to do on a more frequent basis, where we want more colleagues to come out from the environment of campus, a place in Ipoh one night. This is how it will work, and then when you come out, maybe you will have an idea. So out of the 35 individuals that were there, and we broken down into 6 groups, if 2 groups manage to come out with something very unique, it's already success. We don't expect 6 lah, cannot, right? But 2 groups, success already. This is what we are trying to do. All right? Okay. So in a way, we are not only speaking about it, but we are also walking the talk. We are actually doing it itself. Okay. So now a little bit on history, sejarah. Very important. Why? Number one, when you go for education fairs, and when many times parents will ask you, UOW, not really sure lah, where you come from? Australia. Then they will ask you more. So it's important for you to understand how we started. So we started off as an institution under this company called Paramount Corporation. And under Paramount Corporation, we have this thing called Paramount Education. Paramount is a large property developer here in Malaysia. So Paramount Education is a sub, in a way, a sub off from Paramount Corporation itself that concentrates very much on education. So basically, Paramount Corporation was a brainchild of Datuk Teo. The late Datuk Teo, he passed away 4 years ago already. Now, he was an individual, for many of you who have known, very much into education. He is very much into education, very much into growing education in Malaysia, especially giving affordable education to all, because he was very realistic. He was realistic to say that a lot of Malaysians do not have an opportunity to go to public university. Cannot. Many of us couldn't. So he said, and cannot go overseas because expensive. Overseas was expensive. So how do we then go to? So that was where he started this institution called KDU. KDU was started in 1983. It was then known as College Damansara Utama. I will continue, and you will see. Hi, Muhammad Anwar. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for
Hi.
the delay. Yeah.
Can you switch on your video? Your camera?
Yeah, wait.
And
Yeah.
Ewan, this is your colleague.
In Penang as well?
No, not Penang. His colleague, because he's
Oh.
from Glenmarie, but also from SHTCA.
Oh, okay.
So he's trying to switch on his video now. Okay. By attendance, I require to see video. So Miss or Mr. Ong over there, we are still waiting for you. Mama Anwar, how are you?
Sorry.
Sorry for the late. We are having a clash of chef training here. I'm a chef.
Chef training.
Today got 2 training. I really clash. I don't know which one to go. 2 are compulsory.
Okay. Dia senang saja, Anwar. You miss my session, you cannot get confirmed. So you choose lah.
Itulah.
That is not
Okay,
threatening.
never mind. Later I talk to my dean. I attend this training. Okay.
I faham.
Okay.
Poheng, hi. I can hear you're in already. Can you switch on your camera, please?
Sorry. I'm having replacement class today, so I'm not sure how to handle this. Actually, what should I do?
What should you do?
For in this case,
Okay, so you're
if
having
I have
replacement class, right?
crashing,
So since you have already
uh,
committed to your student on replacement class, please go ahead with the replacement class. Please go ahead.
okay, I can join the second session, the afternoon one.
Okay, all right. So the first one you may need to do a
But my
replacement.
question,
All right,
because
okay.
a lot of public holiday. My question is subsequent class, if the time have clashes, what should I do?
Then you have a problem. So you have to what you call prepare and structure your classes because the timetable will already came out already. So you got to make sure that you are able to attend. It could mean moving your classes. Please speak to your head of school. Okay. All right.
Is it I change the class time? Is it
You speak
that
to your
way?
head of school.
Or speak to my head of school.
Speak to Dr. K.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks. Sorry for
Alright.
today because I replaced I was not sure how to handle this.
Planning of schedule, we as educators, very important. You need to prioritize. You need to see how do you organize as what is required. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Subsequent one, I will arrange with my head
Okay.
on that.
All right.
That is
Okay. So Anwar, we were just speaking a little bit about UOW Malaysia and how we came about, and then you already introduced yourself already. Your colleagues over here, Yuwen, as you can see over there, she's also from SHTCA, pastry chef, tapi kat Penang. All right, and then I will just cut the thing. We have Miss Jennifer from nursing, and then I have Prema here from law school. Prema is next to your office only. Okay. And I'm Gabriel. Nice to meet you. Okay, so a little bit about the historical aspect on Paramount Education. So when you talk about Paramount Education, this was the hand that they have. Okay, you look into the screen, they covered everything. So they have from on right, you can see my cursor, real education. Real education was for early childhood education. So they have early childhood. They had 3 KDU. That 3 KDU is primary and secondary, and they had the universities and colleges. So basically, Paramount Education covered the whole breadth of education itself. Okay, from starting all the way to university. So historically, as I stressed, 1983 we started. This was our KDU campus. It is located in Damansara Jaya. But during that time, in the early 80s, that area or SS22 was known as Damansara Utama. That is why it was called College Damansara Utama. All right. The current location now, it is an international school. So many people, they will still use in their mind the corner of, and when you say KDU, they always think of that building over there. This is in Damansara Jaya. Okay. I'll just go through. In 1991, we started Penang campus. 1991. And in 1991, the Penang campus was not in the current location, but it was actually located at the Padang site. It was located at the Padang. All right. So that was the initial campus. Only after that, then only they shifted into the current location that where Georgetown is. But as you all know, this is not a secret. The Georgetown campus will slowly be phased out, and then it's going to be shifted to Batu Kawan. Beautiful campus. Batu Kawan is on the mainland. Okay. All right. So this is important because many parents, when you go open day, you say, oh yeah, UOW Malaysia. Then they will say, UOW Malaysia, what is this? Then you say, oh, dulu kita KDU. They will know. Because KDU is a brand name that in Malaysian education, widely people understand. Now, take note, Selangor campus and Penang campus during the college time is 2 separate license. Dia bukan separate. It's not off-premise campus. It is 2 separate license. All right. That is why if you see Penang got their own vice chancellor, Selangor got their own vice chancellor. Faham? So that is very important. It's 2 separate license. Because many of my colleagues ask me, Gabe, how come when UG, we all Selangor, become university, Penang pula belum university lagi? Are we the same? Because we are 2 separate license. 2 separate license, every application pun separate. Understand? Okay, but Penang is applying for their license now lah. So in 2010, Selangor campus that was a college became a university college. We upgraded to a university college. Okay, and then there is further expansion, and in 2015 we shifted from Damansara Jaya to our current Glen Marie campus, kat Shah Alam. We shifted only in 2015. So this year is already 10 years, very fast. Already 10 years that we are here. Okay, so for your information, you will know when you are a college, you upgrade to a university college, your college license tak ada, habis lah, because the college jadi university college. Okay, so what happened during that time? That time what we did was we acquired a college license. That is why now we also have UOW Malaysia KDU College. Faham, ah? Now, can any of you tell me what is the kebaikan, the benefit of having a college? We got university kan? Everybody mau university. But why do we still have college? Apa kebaikan dia? Teka-teki lah, try lah, what do you think? I will add in lah. Masa tidak mengizinkan. Number one, as a university, you only can confer your own degree, your own parchment. College, you can confer foreign parchment under franchise. University of London, LLB. Ini bukan saya punya. It's not UOW. It's London. Because in Malaysia, UOL is prominent. Alright? So, where can we do? University cannot do. We only can do in college. Faham, eh? Now, ACCA, pernah dengar kan? ACCA. ACCA is accounting. Very big. University cannot do. But we have in UOW, under where? Under college. So that is the kebaikan of college. But college, I can confer my own parchment. Highest is diploma. Highest. Actually, higher diploma also can, but since we don't have higher diploma, I don't want to touch lah. So only diploma. Degree, we cannot confer. All right, that is actually university and above. So there are a lot of benefits for college and also university. Okay, and of course, you heard of MyQuest and Setara kan? Setara is the ranking for university, MyQuest is for college. The college and university ranking, the requirement also different. There's more research requirement in university. Okay, so this is how we evolve. Now, so what happened is in 2019, 2019, UOW acquired us. All right. So UOW wanted to expand. So they already have in Dubai. They already have in Hong Kong. They wanted to expand in Southeast Asia. They came, they studied a few institutions, and finally they acquired KDU. So during that time, we were known as UOW Malaysia KDU. You may ask the question, why do we still have the word KDU? Because Ministry of Higher Education told us you cannot membubarkan the word KDU until 5 years after acquisition. Because the market kat Malaysia, tak ada orang tahu UOW, but everybody knows KDU. So it's important. So this is an instruction from Kementerian. All right, understand? Okay. Then in 2022, we acquired Ramsay Sime Darby Healthcare College. So we in 2022, UOW bought Ramsay Sime Darby College. So now in our Selangor campus, we got University 1, College 2. One, UOW Malaysia KDU College. Another one is UOW Malaysia College. The one that without the KDU is the nursing school, the nursing college. Okay, and in November 2023, UOW Malaysia KDU University College became full university status. So it's University of Wollongong, Malaysia. Okay, so Selangor, that is why previously before 2023, we were University College. But in November 2023, we became full-fledged university. So, dia macam ni. Selangor University, UOW, University of Wollongong, Malaysia, university status, we got 2 colleges. Faham? So, we got 3 entities kat Selangor. Those of you in Glen Marie, there are 3 entities there. Penang is UOW Malaysia KDU University College. Understand, huh? Because you are separate license. So you are now applying for university status. Okay? Because lesen different nah. We are not under one license. Faham kan? Now, why am I explaining this to you? Because when you go for career fair, open day, education fair, parents will show us. You got university here, you got university college, you got college. What is this? So it's important to at least know a bit lah, what is actually all about. They are separate entities covering different markets and so on. That is why when you go to our webpage, you can also see different entities inside there. Any questions, guys? Mama? All right. So currently, UOW Malaysia entities, we got, as I stressed lah, University of Wollongong, Malaysia. This is Glen Marie. Then we have University of UOW Malaysia KDU University College kat Penang, satu, which in the process of upgrading. Then we have UOW Malaysia KDU College and UOW Malaysia College. All right. So this is how it is. Now, who are our senior leadership team? Our group CEO of UOW Global Enterprise, her name is Marisa Mastriani. She is the one that runs Hong Kong, Dubai, India, Malaysia. Okay, so she is group CEO. All right. On and off, she comes down. Sometimes she's on our campus. She does a visit. She goes to Penang and so on. So you will see her. Very simple, no problem. I just want to chat with her. She has coffee sometime in Cafe 87 and so on. Okay. Now, this is important. This one penting. Datuk Sri Michael Yam Kong Choi. He is our Chancellor. He is our Chancellor. In academia, private institution, Chancellor is the highest. Okay, highest. Vice Chancellor do the operation, but Chancellor is the highest. So he is the Chancellor of the whole group, UOW Malaysia, Penang and Selangor. Pernah jumpa? Pernah kan? He comes and off. And then for those of you who've seen him during convocation, he's always there. Next, Jennifer Ng is the CEO Asia. She is in charge of Hong Kong and Malaysia. Okay, Hong Kong and Malaysia. She is also our UOW Malaysia KDU CEO. All right, so she's CEO here and also Hong Kong and Malaysia. She covers both. Prof. Hugh, Vice Chancellor, UOW Malaysia, University of Wollongong, Malaysia. So for the university, he is the Vice Chancellor. Pernah jumpa kan? Pernah? Okay, during orientation and so on. Now, then we have Prof. Chong. This one is Penang. So Miss Uy, you know, you better say you know. You don't know, then got problem already. Miss Uy kat Penang. So this is your Vice Chancellor. Jumpa, say hello sikit. Okay. Background engineer. Both computing, background, engineering. Okay. Background. Then we have Prof. Hon. Prof. Hon, DVC academic, and also she is the principal of the nursing school. She is the principal of nursing. All right. And then we have, now, anything to do with academic for both institutions, she will run. She will run. Okay. Then we have Mr. Shankar, DVC academic, UOW Malaysia, general. So he runs anything administration. Academic side, Prof. Hon, Shankar is look into the administration side. And of course, that one is me. I'm the principal of UOW Malaysia KDU College and also the head of Teaching and Learning Center. All right. So my hat very funny, So sometimes when I wear the Teaching and Learning hat, my boss is Dr. Hon. But when I'm the principal, I need to sign her document. So, dia macam ni, you faham kan? Because different hats you wear. So today, because this thing I'm doing is under teaching and learning, my boss is Prof. Hon. Okay? This is under teaching and learning. Okay. So, our history since 1983, sekarang kita 42 years old lah. Okay, we are 42. We are, if to tell you, in 1983, our campus in Damansara Jaya was the first purpose-built campus of any private institution now. Taylor, Sunway, semua pun belum. Alright, last time under CNG school, tailors and whatnot, they don't have their own purpose built. It was run by in shop lots and so on. So our campus was actually the first purpose built specifically for university, private institution, not government, private. Okay. So this is who we are: student-centered, staff, global, connected, synonymous with employability and our competitiveness. All right. Now, what is our vision over here? Vision and mission, penting lah, as in UOW Malaysia, to be a leading global education provider delivering transformative student experiences in Malaysia and the region. We didn't say we want to be the best in the world. No, not yet. But our vision is to be in Malaysia. And let me tell you, Malaysia is very, 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 very competitive. Anwar, before this, you dari mana? Which institution?
Previously, I'm from Berjaya and Taylor's University.
Berjaya and Taylor's. So Berjaya, I have Zana, XKDU kat sana, and then Saiful.
Saiful, yeah. The chef.
You mustn't, Anwar, you mustn't forget, I was 15 years in SHTCA. I only left in 2016.
Oh.
See, guys, the world is very small. Education very small one. Everywhere you go, got somebody will be there one. Dia macam tu punya, alright? So that is our vision. So when we are heading towards regional and also country. And later I'm going to touch a little bit about how competitive private education is in Malaysia. Our mission: to collaborate with local and global communities to deliver quality teaching, learning, and research, nurturing global leaders with a truly international outlook. This is what we want. We are looking at collaboration. We are collaborating with community. We are collaborating with the industry. All right. Take, for example, in Glen Marie. In Glen Marie, we have around us different industries and communities. We have Montfort Boys over there. So we are in the process of maybe coming up with certain collaboration, because we truly believe that the development of an institution, the betterment, is very much reflected by how you develop the community. We were a bit slow. I honestly say, when we started this, we were a little bit slow because we were thinking of our growth. But now we are looking a little bit further. How can we work with the industry? How can we work with society and community like Montfort Boys and so on and whatnot? This is something that we are hoping to do. Okay. Now, expectation of an academic staff has adopted the following set of values. So basically, you as an academic staff, there are this set of values which guide the behavior of staff in all parts of the university. These are also values we expect our students to develop and refine throughout the learning of UOW Malaysia. There are 6 key values that is being practiced in UOW Malaysia. Now, this is something that it is being strongly emphasized by Australia. Okay. Integrity, courage, collaboration, passion, excellence, and innovation. I always tell my staff and my colleagues, whatever you do here, this is an organization, this is where you work. Make sure you go back, you can tidur dengan nyenyak, you can sleep well. Don't do anything that makes you keep your eyes up. Okay? Now, it means when we talk about integrity and so on, between you all as academicians, do you know that we play a critical role in students' well-being? How you mark. A change in 2 marks can mean a change in CGPA. A change in CGPA can mean a change between a first class and a second upper. That can mean a student's getting scholarship or not. So it is very important for us to ensure things are done in the proper manner. So I always tell my colleague, my many years teaching already, somewhere, as I said earlier on, I'm in this organization for 25 years, but prior to that, I've been teaching since 1998. All right, so it's like 28 years of teaching already. I always have this principle in my mind. Do things right. Make sure you can sleep well. Make sure that thing is not lingering in your mind and on students' well-being. That is very important. Okay, so these are the key core values that we are doing over here. Okay, like marking and so on. It doesn't mean, okay lah, yeah, since I don't want to answer too much inside that, I give a very high grade, make sure they pass. No, it doesn't work that way. It is counterproductive to the student. If they don't deserve, they don't deserve. Simple as that. Okay, they don't deserve. Now, I understand for like certain of you who are doing external paper, you don't do the exam done outside. But internal papers, most of you are like Anwar, Yuan, Jennifer, and so on, and Mr. Ong over there. Sometimes internal papers, you are the one, you have your second marker. Make sure everything is done properly. This is one thing that I really want to stress on what we do over here. Then in class, when we teach our students dengan penuh ikhlas, full, we give what is required. You give until the thing is, in our line, guys, you want to own the newest BMW, you want to own the newest Mercedes, susah. Let me tell you, 28 years I've been teaching already. I don't drive one of those. Okay? Betul kan, Anwar? Susah. But the reward.
I just ride motorcycle.
I dulu pun motorcycle. But the reward, guys, is where the students come to you and say, thank you, sir. I still have students after many years come to me, thank you, sir. You know, that is what is our reward. Lain lah, we all choose a different pathway in life, kan? So, lain lah. Like in hotel school, I still remember, Chef Maharis was my student. Yeah, Chef Maharis was my student. That was how many years? That was how it is. So this is the relationship that we built. Example, you see? Paham, guys? So these are the 6 things. Please put it in your mind, practice it, and then when we practice it, it is like it is contagious. Your student also will practice it. You practice it. That is why until now I'm very particular of time. You know, I'm from a hotel line, used to work in the hotel industry, and I'm a front office person. All right, so 9 o'clock sharp I start. So Anwar, timing koyak sikit. Miss Oi was on time. Jennifer was not only on time, she was earlier. Prema too. Okay, so this is important. If you come late for class, don't penalize your students for coming late for class. Faham? Betul kan? You cannot tell them you are late if you yourself late. Macam tu lah. Okay? Next. Our student, when they graduate with us, there are these 6 graduate attributes that we want students to have. Okay? It means when they complete their program with you, they must have intellectual competency, professional acumen, effective communication skill, creative critical thinking and problem solving abilities, entrepreneurial spirit, and global mindset. So these are the skills, these are the attributes that we want our students to get. Not first semester, no way. It is during the process. Example, let's say Prem is teaching a 3+0 LLB students. They finish in 3 years. So in these 3 years, they must attain this. They must be able to think in their discipline. They must to have a global mindset, not only what's happening in Malaysia. American election will have an impact on Malaysia itself. Okay. What is happening in Thailand? Now, in the past 1 week, Thailand is having a bit of a shake in their political situation. Prime Minister tukar, kan? So this is called global mindset. They question, why? What did she do? Right now, you're right about that or not? How she called in another leader, and then the things that she said, that fellow go and record and show it out. In this world, don't trust anybody, yeah. Okay, so this is the thing called global mindset. And globally, what happens there will impact us locally. That is why we have this term called glocal. All right? Entrepreneurial spirit and so on. So these are called the University of Wollongong, Malaysia's graduate attributes. We want our student to have all of this over here. Okay? So then, recently, I have to touch this part later in OBE, so I'll touch a bit. Recently, now, what is MQF? How many of you heard of this word called MQF? Pernah dengar kan? Tak? Okay, bahaya sikit. Malaysia's qualification framework is the framework by our ministry to state what is required in Malaysian education. Okay, dia punya framework lah. If you study in Malaysia, you must have this, and that. PLO, CLO, OBE, semua MQF punya. Tahap 1 hingga 8 MQF. Tahap 6 is bachelor, tahap 7 master, tahap 8 PhD, MQF. That is the framework. So last year, in the final quarter of last year, MQF came up with a revision. Okay, they tambah sikit lagi. And they tambah this thing, value-based education, integration of sustainable development, flexible pathway, and harmonizing. Why did they put this? I want to stress to all of you because the government now find that, number one, value-based education is critical. Value-based education is not only will the student get knowledge, but they have the correct thought of mind. Last time we have this thing called civic, moral, tata rakyat. Pernah dengar ke? Tata rakyat. Tak ada, you guys are still too young, maybe. Now, tata rakyat, I remember learning that when it was many years ago. Now, same thing. So government now wants, whenever you teach, not only you teach knowledge, but you teach value-based and what is correct. The moral behind it. Why do we do this? Why? So they have put into their MQF, means future submission of document to MQA must demonstrate that you have value-based education. Faham tu? So in your table 4, you know the table 4 kan? We are teaching now you must emphasize on value-based. We will emphasize on this and that and so on. 2, SDG. There are 17 SDG kan? Strategic Development Goal. This is under, we are talking about EU. I mean, UN, United Nations Strategy. Now, MQF requires us to put this in our syllabus. So, for example, Jennifer is teaching nursing. So, certain aspects of nursing is blah, 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 and so on. So, under one of the SDG I can remember is on gender equality. Gender equality. So during her teaching, she may need to emphasize, she wants to cover that SDG on gender equality. She will emphasize on that part. So our students will understand what are these SDG and how it relates to their life. And this is what is expected of. So what I'm trying to stress here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The way we teach, the way we do, whatever you have done before, from tailors, Berjaya, and so on, it changes because our government put new policy. So we have to follow. We kena ikut lah. Suka tak suka kena ikut. So this is something that all new staff need to understand. All right. We do what is right. We are regulated by Australia. We are also strongly regulated by our MQF, Malaysia's Qualifications Framework. And this is a document which I find every staff must read. It is called compulsory reading. More so if at night you cannot sleep, you read, sure sleep. Okay. Not that bad lah. It's quite nice lah actually. All right. Faham? Faham? So far understand? Okay, very good. Now, next. Schools in UOW Malaysia. Generally, we have different faculties and schools and departments. Okay. This term is used interchangeably. Sebab in Penang, you may call it school. In UG, you may call it faculty. In Penang, you have departments and so on. So generally, we have our SCCM, Creative Media, Computing and Creative Media. We got SOB, School of Business. We got SCCA, Creative Arts. We got SHTCA, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Culinary Arts. We have School of Engineering. And over in Penang, we also have Interior Design, Built Environment and Interior Design, yes. We have Nursing. We have Law. And under Law, SCC, School of SCCA, what do you call that? SOSS. We also have Early Childhood inside there. So, and basically what we see is the number of faculties and schools, we are very, very diverse. All right. Nursing we have, but we do not have medicine. So that's different, all right? Physiotherapy and nursing we have, but we don't have medicine. So this is the various different schools and areas that we have over there. Now, we are quite diverse. However, it is important to see that some of our schools are not big. They are actually quite small. And is it possible to implement and grow more schools? Yes, it is very, very possible. So at times, who knows, in the future, there could be another new school of faculty, depending on what is needed in the market. Can there be a dissolve or resolution to take away certain schools? It is also possible if the changing market and such. Okay, so this is how the industry, how the institution grows. Okay. So now basically, I'm new to UOW or KDU, and my job as a lecturer, what is expected from me? For all of you here, I believe you have taught before. I think Miss Uy, this is your first time teaching, is that right? What about Mr. Ong? Is this your first time teaching? No, you've taught before? Ho Heng, have you taught before? Okay, physically, he's looking at me, but he's not hearing me. Fine. Okay, so anyway, basically, guys, there are two parts to it. Some of us may think that we've been teaching for many years and we are an expert. This is something that I say no lah. Okay, it is a constant state of development, learning. And the thing about learning is this: learning is something that we cannot say we have already achieved our max. No, with technology, with changing environment, every day is a new learning environment. Every day is new. Okay, and the important thing is this: a lot of our students, their knowledge is very wide. They have breadth, but they got no depth. Technology today gives students breadth. They search something, they know. They know basically what is it, but they got no depth. They do not know how to go forward towards it. Okay? They do not know. They know what is a black pepper sauce, but they do not know maybe what is the base of a black pepper sauce. It's a brown stock. From brown stock, then after that you cover brown sauce, then after that, not only you can do black pepper, you can do mushroom, you can do this, you can do that. There's so many things. So the students know black pepper, but they do not know the whole aspect towards it. This is where learning takes place. This is where they learn. And sometimes you also look at it as we as educators, we also get confused. We also get confused. There's so many things going around. And please do not be embarrassed if your student tells you things that you do not know, or asks you a question that you do not know. It's normal lah. It's normal because knowledge is so wide at the moment. But if that happens, don't tell the student, I don't know, thank you very much, sayonara. If it's your field, good question. Let me get back to you. Always say that. Let me get back to you. Do your own reading with your experience and knowledge. Then you get back to the student. That is what learning is. All right. Learning is the process of filling up the discrepancy between actual and where you want to go. That is what learning. Students' knowledge is here in my thumb. Their knowledge should reach here. So the gap here is called learning. They need to learn to achieve that. Okay, so how do they learn? They go to your class, they read books, they ask questions. So they want to be here. That is the gap. Some students' gap is very wide. You paham, I paham lah. Some students' gap is very narrow. Correct? Some students' gap are so good that you'll be shocked. Okay, so your role is to try to elevate them from here to here. That is learning. It's simple. Very simple. The basic principles of learning is that gap. All right? Okay. The varying of the gap. Our strategy is how do we move the student from here to here. Why? Because students are varied. You got 30 students in your class, you got 30 different characters. Some very funny one. Funny means I'm saying in a funny way lah. You also want to garu kepala. Why? Some are so good. I remembered many years ago, I used to assist students in their university application. Okay? They apply to university, they need to write essay. So I have this student. She is a Petronas scholar. All right. Last time we have A levels. All right, A levels. So she is sponsored by Petronas going overseas. So she knocked on my door. Tuk, tuk, tuk. Sir, can you help me to read my essay? This is my 7th draft. Wow, she did 7 drafts already, and finally she comes and show me. So in my mind, some of my students in my class, I asked them to do assignment also tak buat, lupa. These students, the initiative is so strong because they all vary. They are all different. Okay, and this is what we have been put forward to. In our class of 30 people, they have all 30 different characters, 30 learning styles. Okay, will all of them get the A? I hope, but it is not your role to make sure all of them get the A. You get that or not? It is not your role to make sure, or your responsibility to make sure all of them get an A. An A is something that is recognized and it is based on effort. Basic knowledge is like this. Okay? A student never miss your class, go to your class, never miss a lesson, pay attention, ask question, never read the textbook, but only pay attention to your class, is a pass student. Pass. Pass only. This same student, read the textbook, study, is a C plus to a B student. This student take the next step, not only reading the textbook, but read other books and question, is the A minus student or the A student. Okay? Why do students not pass? Number 1, comprehension. Don't even come for class. How to pass? Correct or not? Don't even come. Okay? So that is the key aspect. Now, what I just explained to you is not literature, it is experience. This is what I, as an academician, feel. Our role, whenever in class we educate the student, is to make sure if they come for class, they never miss, they pay attention, and they say, sir, I understand, they can pass. They can pass. Pass only lah. Pass only not. 50 markah. That is how it is. All right? That is how it is. All right. So this is where we want the student to ensure that they can go on to the next step. Not only are they a pass student, they are at least a B student or a A student. All right. So what are the key things that you all do? Academics you need to prepare your own course, deliver, assessment, final exam, marking, grades, moderation, research, mentoring. This is your role, correct? Not cannot run away. I know I've spoken to some people. They say, Gabe, my previous institution, my class very big, I got 3 assistants to mark papers for me. Your class very big lah, different. Here, I'm sorry lah. I'm sorry, guys. You have to mark your own papers. All right? Betul? All right? You mark your own papers. You set your own exam paper and so on. And don't forget, today, I want to show you this and to tell you that in today's environment, academic got more. They also do open day. They also do education fair. Betul? So there are more roles and they also do administrative role. Cannot run away. This is how the evolution is taking place. All right? We wear numerous caps. We are an educator. We are a facilitator. We are a marketer so at times. Okay? But I can safely say now, education fair and so on is much less compared to 15 years ago already. 15 years ago, during that time, nearly every week got open days and so on. Now they have shift, maybe 1 person or two person a week if there is, and so on. So it's much less. But for hospitality, no choice lah. Normally, when we have a career fair, we have a action station. So action station, what are you going to show? Hospitality lah. So Hamid will do his carving. Some people will do, anything, I'm not sure, I cannot run away. Because when you go to education fair, what interests the public? Attraction. Okay, they go and see. Wow, have to lah, cannot run away. Any questions, guys, so far? Faham? Okay, challenging, right? Okay, banyak kerja tapi tak boleh dapat BMW Mercedes. Education line lah, itu macam lah. The reward comes differently lah. The reward comes differently. Okay. Now, why? This data also 2 years old. So under MQA regulation, data not more than 3 years, I still can use. Okay. When you submit document, you submit MQA, your reference book, 3 to 5 years. After that must change. So same. MQA data 2023, we have 20 public universities, 416 private higher education institutions. Now, today it has gone down. No more 416. Now it's only 300 plus. Why? Many of them sudah tutup. So competitive. The reason was because in the 90s, early noughties, government was giving up license, easy giving up license. You heard the story, right? You know why in Malaysia macam tu? Because they wanted to make Malaysia a education hub. An education hub in the region. Here we can speak English. Here not bad lah. And then due to our multiculturalism over here, it's easy to adapt. All right, so a lot of foreigners want to come. So they give out a lot of license. But when you give out a lot of license, that time we have 500 private institutions. Many couldn't survive. All right, many couldn't survive. So now we have roughly around 300 over only, but the number is still big. Why am I saying the number is still big? Because the source of students is dwindling. Majority of our students are local students. As you know today, population generally birth rate going down. So when birth rate going down, SPM students going down, less students joining university. And 51% of all when you're talking about universities and so on, what do you call that? SPM holders will normally go to government institutions. Government institutions will take roughly around 50%. So you have 50% more of the population of SPM leavers to divide by roughly 400 institutions. So the pie besar, kecil lah, you punya slot. Problem. Okay, so what do? We take foreign students. Maybe normal lah, we have to take foreign. But foreign students have its own challenges. Betul? Cultural differences and so on. So you as educators, we also need to understand, having foreign students, UG especially, we are having a big number of foreign students, but not so much for law, nursing, and SHTCA. For School of Business, for computing and SCCA, we are receiving a lot of foreign students. Okay, so they have their own challenges. And we as educators, we will face with our own challenges handling this group of students. So this is where the challenge comes in. On another note, on this statement over here is, we need to be innovative. We need to be innovative. Do you all know we do this thing called mobility program? Tahu kan? Mobility program is where we have foreign groups come in, then we have workshops for them. They do 1 week, 2 weeks, and so on. Let me give you rough statistics on the impact. It contributes roughly per year 8 to 10% of total revenue. You know what I'm trying to say now? Mobility program, which is small groups coming in, contribute 8 to 10%, compared to the other schools, compared to schools. Now, you may think, Gabe, 8% to nothing lah. Hey, my friend, 8% to 10, not from our core revenue, which is program, is a lot. That is why Hazim always calls you, all right, not? So it is managed by 2 people only, mobility, and it contributes 8 to 10%. So hotel schools help a lot, nursing help a lot, law help a lot. Dr. Prem does a lot of the workshops. All right. Okay. This is how the impact is. Why? This is called other source of revenue. And let me tell you guys, cannot run away. Today, cannot run away. Dulu, we can say tak nak, because student banyak. But now student numbers going down. So we need to look at other source. Yuan, over in Penang, one group from UK is there, ma? One group of UK there. You all do workshop for them, you all do workshop for them? Yeah, see? One group from UK is over there. They are coming to UG next week. for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in Penang, 2 weeks here. Have to do. We do that because this is revenue. Okay? This is how things are. The changing environment of education. Any questions here, guys? What do we see here? Working with industry cannot run away. Okay, this is where things are going towards. So students transition to university, right? We got a lot of students joining us now, so they're transiting, not easy. Don't assume students come prepared. Many of them don't. Many students from secondary school to university, they are not prepared. We need to set them with the right tools. All right, what is learning? What is research? What is the importance of doing work on their own, for example? Okay, independent learning styles. We need to nurture into students that knowledge you must attain. Attain means you must grab. It is not given. You must attain. That means in class, go for class. Tell them the importance. All right. At the end of the day, it is their decision. As they said, you can bring a horse to the water. You can't force the horse to drink. But we want to make sure that the horse understands that how detrimental is it when they get thirsty. Same thing for a student. Knowledge itself. We need to instill in them the holistic aspect of knowledge and how it will grow in them. It's not easy, I can tell you that. It's not easy. Okay? Why? Because many of them are alluded to the fact that, sir, I'm here because I need to do is after my SPM. All right. My mother asked me to study or this and that. You see, not so it is not that motivation of one thing. So sometimes it's important that we try to create that one thing in them. Assistance provided. You give students assistance. Draw the line. How much and the type expected. Not 24/7. All right. Students need to understand. If any student come and tell you, sir, assignment, how to do? Ask them first. What do you think he asks you to do? What is your understanding of the question before you give the answer? When you give the answer straight away, you won't, as you know, you've been a student recently, also, right? Not. You give the answer straight away, students don't need to think. So not saying you don't help the student, you ask the student, okay? But before I tell you what to do, you tell me, what do you think? Read the question. What does it mean? Sometimes the student haven't even read the question, I can tell you, they haven't read the question. They just come to you nicely, sir, how to do? Cannot lah. Let them, ask them to explain to you what is it. So this is what you call how much and the type expected. Guide them. Not saying you don't help them. You must help them. But make sure they put effort in first. Unrealistic expectation by students. Some students think come to university means guarantee pass. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing. How to promote smooth transition? So new students come in. They are transiting into university life. One, make yourself accessible. Make yourself accessible means email, official email, very good. Tell students, guide. Weekdays, I will reply to you. You send me an email after weekday, after 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m., tomorrow you get reply. Set the ground rules. Understand? Set the ground rules to students. Now, some of you at night, for me, sometimes at night, I will also reply because that is my prerogative. You understand? The minimum you do must be between working hours. That is how, the minimum. Anything extra is up to you. Paham, all right? Sometimes because things fast. When I was teaching last time, I used to share WhatsApp. Was it WhatsApp? I can't remember. There's something like that. Why? Because sometimes emergency, I cannot make it for class. Okay? I don't want my student dari jauh come. Then after that, oi, Mr. Gabriel's 8 o'clock class. Cancel. Teruk lah. Because you have to think for them. I use that WhatsApp group with them one. All right? And my style is sometimes I also remind them, hey, assignment, please don't communicate. It's up to you all. Your own prerogative, how your school runs it between you and your head of school. Okay? Be friendly and enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is contagious. You show enthusiasm in class, especially chefs and so on. I know when you show that light, students are so happy. student also, oh, macam tu I also want to learn. You see, enthusiasm is important. Provide resources and material to promote learning. From the book, this is your role. This is the textbook. Extra, it is good for you to give extra. Students, there is an article in The Economist that speaks about something, something, something. Go and read. This is called extra for the student. All right. And it encourages them to learn. Encourages. So this is promotion for learning. All right. Encourage students to seek help. Many of our students in Malaysia, in class, any question? No question. Macam tu punya, got gold in the mouth. All right. Even though they don't know. Because maybe it is society that says that you ask question means you are weak. But it is not. And then they suffer. Especially if your lessons are progressive. Lesson 1, you tak faham. Lesson 2, you mampus. Lesson 3, you don't waste your time. Correct or not? All right. So if lesson 1, they don't ask, they don't understand, and they go lesson 2, even worse. And when students don't understand lesson 2, demotivated. Once they are demotivated, they don't come for class. It's a chain reaction. Okay. So encourage them. Encourage them. That aspect. Go to them individually. Hey, you understand? You don't understand? Come and ask me, or something like that. Okay. And sometimes it is good for you to question them. Hey, today's lesson, we said that. What do you think about that? If you find them, they tak faham, then already linger in your mind. Maybe they don't understand certain things. And of course, feedback. Feedback to students is very important. Okay, give them feedback. Progressive feedback. Okay, they need feedback to know where they are and to know where they are going to. Where they are going to. Okay, paham guys? Ken? Any questions here? Ken, all right. Similar to what you have been doing. For those of you who just left, who was just recently a student, you will know. And when you were a student, certain things that you don't like, then now you are the teacher, don't do the same thing lah. Correct or not? That one also important. All right. Okay. Dulu you see that particular teacher tak boleh pakai punya that one. Now you don't be that teacher. Yes, Prema?
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, just taking experience of my class yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've give them slides, and then
Mhm.
I do my own extra reading and give them, give them extra notes or whatever. Do we provide that extra notes to the students if they ask, because they say, I don't want to read, I just want your notes? How do we solve that problem then?
Is those extra notes anything more than what is supposed to be in the syllabus?
No. It is part of the syllabus. However, it's just that, it's not in the slides. I mean, the slides is very basic. And then I do the extra reading and then ask them to read further from the extra reading.
Okay, so it's like this. A basic practice is this. There is this thing called the CLO, the learning outcomes. Our role is to make sure that learning outcomes are achieved. Extra notes is anything either than that learning outcomes that will improve the student. That one is called bonus for the student. But what we need to give is only what is required in the syllabus. If your notes, what you have given the student needs that, is fine. The thing that the extra that you have, it is your own notes, what you write on your own. It's up to you then. Up to you. But you cannot shortchange them in the first set of notes. That is not enough. If that is already enough, then it is good. You met your requirement. Because your own notes is your own record. It's like, guy, when I do teaching, I have my own notes, I have my own reference. You faham, my own reference and so on. That is saya punya. It's the thing that I want to relate to or something like that. It's my own. You no need to give the student that one. You see what I'm trying to say? But your role is to make sure the CLO and the table 4 and the syllabus is met. But if you don't meet that, you salah lah. But if you already meet that, good. Anything on your own, sendiri punya, is your prerogative. You want to give, you don't want to give, it's up to them. That is how it is. But I like that the student has the cheek to tell you, ma'am, I'm lazy to go and do research. Can you give me your notes? That one, I have nothing to say. Okay, you guys understand, huh? Your role is that anybody asks you, let's say got big complaint or anything, you just have to justify. What is required? I have given enough. This is what is given to the student, that it is as per the syllabus and no short change. Always remember that. No short change. My notebook is everything is my own record. All right. And that is what I use as my own reference. No problem. Okay. All right. Culinary is the same. There's no way you can teach students all the sources. You teach them the base. Let them learn from there. Then from there you enhance it. Betul kan? The basic stocks. Then from there you go. You want to teach them in class the hundreds of sources that is available lah. Mati lah macam tu. Tak habis. Then you know, that is how it is. Your own notebook, you may have a brown durian stock, a sauce. That is your own. But you're not going to, it's nothing for the student. That is how it is. Understand, guys? Okay. So, you as a lecturer, academician, how will you be assessed now? Okay, we already talked about growth. So basically, there are a few things. One is called academic staff competency appraisal and key performance index. Now, academic staff competency appraisal and key performance index should be done by your head of school on to you. Now, staff competency appraisal is your work. All right, he will have a form, she or she will have a form. This is your work. All right, how good were you and your performance? Understand, huh? KPI is something that your head of school will set with you. Okay, for this year, 2026, this is what we want to achieve. This is your key performance index. Okay, you want to achieve this, and so on. Then periodically, normally every half year, when it's half year, she will sit down with you again to review, to say that whether you are on track or no track. Let's say I set for my staff, KPI is they need to publish 3 papers for 2026. Example, now it is July 2026, and my staff haven't even published 1 paper. Why? Because she or he needs to take extra class, because one lecturer left, for example. So when I sit down with the staff during the KPI review, I will say, my friend, maybe 3 papers that we set earlier in the year too high due to the changing environment. I'm going to reduce it to 1. You understand? Can turun, you know, KPI can turun, you know, because environment change. This is called runding. Now, if my staff is July, already submit 2 papers and 1 is halfway through, I will tell him or her, hey, well done, good, you have met your expectation. But because of this, I want to increase your KPI a little bit. I want to increase to 4 papers because you seem to be doing very well here. And and I can foresee that next semester your hours will be very low. You understand, guys? Okay, so that is called KPI. KPI, key performance index, is not set in stone. It is a runding between you and your boss. It's to say that this is what I want to achieve, and it can change during as time progresses. But if your boss see that you didn't achieve not because of environmental change, because you are LAZY, all right? Sorry lah, she won't reduce or he won't reduce. You understand? Because you yourself not doing it, okay? Then different case, you better do it. It's not because what? Your hours have been low. You are just not doing it. Then it's a different thing between you and your boss. But other than that, it is something that is something that boleh dirunding, can be discussed as it goes along. For you all, especially academicians, there's going to be a class observation for confirmation. Class observation is where a teaching and learning staff will actually go in. There'll be 2-pronged. One is your program leader or your ADH will go into your class. 2, after that, for confirmation, teaching and learning staff will also go in to do a class observation. Okay. Some of you may have already done that already. Very good. Those of you who have not, don't worry. We are harmless. Okay. And of course, we have teaching evaluation by student. Student will evaluate you, how good you are, and so on. What we have found is this. Students generally are very fair. If they know that you are good, they will write good, even though you're strict. But always, strict, you must always be firm and fair. Firm and fair means this. Ali is late for class. You reprimand Ali. Abu, your best student, is late for class and you don't say anything. Students will see. Students are very clever. You don't think, they don't see, then they will say, this cikgu, this teacher, berat sebelah. So I always tell you, firm and fair. Okay? And try your very best sometimes when you're doing reprimanding or telling, at the initial stage, don't do in front of us. Call them aside during break time. Call, hey, Ali, come. Hey, you're late. I can see that today you're late. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Or what is the problem? He may tell you, sorry, sir, something happened or whatever. It could be true. All right. But it needs to be done. We need to set ground rules in class. Once you set clear ground rules, things will go smoothly. Okay? Understand this, guys? Okay. How many of you have already done your class observation? Yeah. Oh, done. All right. Oh, I know also done already lah. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. So, any questions so far on this? No? Good. Okay. So, notes to bring back. Bring back means best lah. Finish ready for this section. Okay. In teaching, what ultimately matters is not what is taught, but what is learned. So it is important to understand that students' learning is more important than the 3 hours you're talking. You can speak for 3 hours, student absorb nothing. It is the learning that is important. 2, what we teach and how we assess ought to be aligned with the intended learning outcome. You must meet the CLO. Understand? Must. No discount. Anything extra is called bonus. Whatever you do, the CLO needs to be met. Course learning outcome. Okay? Such that they are fully integrated and consistent with others. Is the CLO fixed in stone or can it be changed? What do you think? Can change or not? Course learning outcome. Very good, can change. Every year you must review your syllabus. Certain thing yang kuno, old style, you want to change, you change. Because the market changes. But you must do it formally. Okay? You can change. So don't tell me, the CLO lousy one over here. Then you change. Sit with your head of school. Sit with your group. Change it. No problem. MQA tells us that you must change. Because MQA already saying, no way is going to stay the same for 20 years. All right? Maybe the only subject that it could be the same is guard manje or hot cooking because certain things don't change that much. But technology inside can change certain equipment that you use. Okay? 3, the quality of teaching is judged by the quality of learning that takes place. At the end of the day, you are good because the student is good. You are not good to say that I am good because I have the most knowledge. No. Your student take back your knowledge and use that knowledge properly means you are good. That is important. Okay? Always remember that. And finally, critical for us to know how we are assessed so as to achieve our goals. So now you know how you'll be assessed, you know about your KPI. So eventually you will sit down with your boss to set your KPI. And from there, it is important for you to be able to structure it accordingly. Okay? Can guys? Boleh? So far? Terima kasih, part 1. So this is only part 1. I know I have gone an hour 27. There is a second part of OBE, which is a little bit heavier. I'm going to give you all a break. Please come back sharp at 10:45. Okay? 10:45. Now it's 10:27. All right, guys? Thank you very much. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. The good thing is it's a Friday, so we can look forward to 2 days of able to breathe, Saturday and Sunday, then starts back again. Okay, shall I start on OBE now? Ken, ready? Okay.
Okay.
I think OBE is something that it has been drowned in our minds for many years. Okay. MQA stressed on it basically in mid noughties 2004, 2003, roughly there lah. Okay. During that time, there was a switch between Lembaga Akreditansi Negara, LAN. Doesn't sound good, but yes, it was called LAN the last time, and then changed to MQA. So then there was a big emphasis on the thing called OBE, outcomes-based education. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do principles of OBE. It means it is no way a complete element of OBE. It's not complete, but it gives you an idea and why we need to do it and how we need to do it. Okay? So let's start. Ayat mana ni? Okay, so in our session now, what we're going to do is what is OBE, why is it important, and our UOWM take. How do we relate to OBE in our context? Okay. Anu, are you using a phone?
Yeah.
What, didn't they give you a laptop?
Yeah, laptop.
Because you can see the slides or not if you're using a phone.
I can see.
You can see, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so when we talk about OBE, it's important to go back to the father of OBE. Now, basically, if you do reading, there are many different aspects of OBE and literature and whatnot, but most of it will still go back to this gentleman called Bill or William Spady. Okay, William Spady, basically also known as the father of outcomes-based education, is an American in the 60s and also 70s. Basically, he is the one that I won't say develop because there's no development to outcomes based, but he is the one that make it popular on what outcomes based education is. And based on William Spady, there are these three basic principles of OBE. One, all students can learn and succeed, but not on the same day in the same way. Itu yang penting. Okay? Every student can. Remember, I gave you that gap. I was explaining to you about learning. Some student, the gap very narrow. They can learn in one day. Some student, the gap very wide, must learn in many, many days. We also know, some of us, you read one time, you paham. Some of us need to read 5 times, only paham. Right? So all of us are different. So based on William Spady, it is the same. Outcomes based is the statement. The first thing is all students can learn and succeed, but not at the same day or the same way. Some people need more guidance. Some people are more tactile. They need to write. Some people can just speak. Some people can just hear, and it goes. So this is important because when we talk about outcomes-based education and we understand this first premise, automatically it will dictate the way we teach our student. Our student ada 20. All of them can succeed, but in different ways. Some needs to be give more time, some are much faster. All right. But this is where the whole premise of OBE is there. If you understand this, then you will also understand that under the vocational aspect, over in Malaysia, we had this thing previously called SKM, Scheme Kemahiran Malaysia. Betul kan? Scheme Kemahiran Malaysia, yes. Okay. During that time, I still remember our students that we took under this HIAS program. HIAS. Hotel Apprenticeship Scheme, they have this scheme Latihan Malaysia. Their grades is called terampil or tak terampil. Competent or not competent. All right. Some students become competent very fast, but some students need more guide. Example, let's say we are poaching an egg. The test is to say how to poach an egg. So you need water, you need vinegar a little bit inside. You need to simmer the water. You crack your egg inside a plate, a bowl, then slowly you pour in. Some students very good because of their innate skill. The poached egg, perfect. Some students break. Tak terampil. Cuba lagi, buat lagi. Cannot. Maybe give you some time. You go and practice, learn, come back to show your competency. This is what it is all about, competency. So when we talk about outcomes-based, it is the students able to demonstrate to us their ability. Outcomes, not in. Input is when the students are listening to you. That is input-based. Outcomes is where they're able to demonstrate to you competency. And that is what is important. Traditionally, before outcomes, it is how many hours the students learn. What's the point of learning 20, 200 hours when the students cannot demonstrate knowledge? That is why OBE was emphasized in Malaysia. All right? You get this, guys? Last time, 1 credit, very easy. So 1 credit equals to 14 contact hours. You remember or not? Underline. 1 credit equals to 14 contact hours. Your subject, 3 credits. 3 credits is 14 kali 3. 42 contact hours lah. Never ask much what the students can do, but it is on how many hours the students go through. Okay. Then when OBE was implemented, 1 credit becomes 40 notional hours, 40. Notional hours include learning, assessment, self-learning, and so on. And at the end of the day, it is the demonstration. How do we want to ensure students are able to demonstrate? Then that was why OBE was emphasized. Second thing about OBE, the second premise, success breeds success. According to William Spady, if a student successful, that means, wow, terampil, they feel happy, it motivates them for more success. Remember, I gave you the example of the lesson. Lesson 1, students do not know, don't understand, don't ask question. Lesson 2, he will die. Lesson 3, definitely die. Because everything is linked. Once lesson 1, this guy doesn't understand but managed to ask you and you explain to him until he understands, he is so happy. He is elated, so happy. He will come into the next lesson and be able to shout, wow, I understand first lesson, I'm so happy. This is called success breeds success. Okay? Because motivation, happy, wow, I pat myself on the back, so I want to continue. 3. School means institution, university, and so on. So they use the word school. Control the conditions for success. We control the condition for success by hiring good lecturers, by having good condition. Just picture, you're teaching a group of 20 students. You are a good lecturer, but the room aircon rosak. All the students peluh, sweating. Can learn or not? Cannot, very difficult. Want to learn also, normally can learn better. Now you learn not so good lah. So out of maybe you normally can absorb 80%, now you only absorb 60%. So the condition is no good. So the condition is controlled by the institution. We control the condition. That is why when we talk about OBE outcomes based, the outcome is determined not only by what we give, but the environment. The environment is important. Okay? If you are teaching students how to do, let's say saute cut, you want to do a saute cut of chicken, but you have 5 students to share 1 chicken. How to learn? Betul? How to learn? Maybe costing wise, maybe 2 students to share 1 chicken. Okay lah, still not so bad. But you put 5. So the school control the environment. Yes, you teach student how to do saute cut on chicken, but you 5 orang kongsi one chicken. Barely lah. Why? 1 or 2 students will sit at the back there and just look. Saute cut is cutting the chicken. Okay, so 1 or 2 students will sitting there, look, no chance to even touch the chicken. How to learn? It's the environment. You get me, guys? Nursing is especially also same. The practical part of it. All right. How do you do, let's say, the Heimlich maneuver? If there is only one dummy shared by 50 people, by the time it comes to you, it may not even reach your time when the time is gone already. Environment plays a key role. So once we understand these 3 key principles, then as we go on, you get it better. So students can succeed depending on their time. Success breeds success, and the institution controls the condition for the success of the student. Understand, guys? Okay. Now, so outcomes-based education is not what we want to teach. It's what the students should learn. That is very important. It's not what we want to teach. I want to teach a lot of things, but it's not in my syllabus. You don't teach. What is important is in your syllabus, and that is what the students must learn. Okay, so it is driven by what the students must have. Your course have CLO. Betul kan? The CLO relates to PLO. Betul kan? Program Learning Outcome. And your PLO links to the PEO, Program Educational Objective. So when we see this link over there, it is important for us to understand that it is not dictated by us what we want to teach, but it is dictated by structured documents that are already there to ensure that the student achieve their goal. For a student to achieve Bachelor in Business Administration, a degree in business administration, there are a few things which the students, there is a list of things that the student must learn. Cannot run away one. Okay, finance, human resources, this, and so on. So it is what the students should learn that is important. That is OBE. Okay. Now, so OBE versus traditional education. When we talk into the content-based learning system, which is the traditional side, it is very passive. Students sit there, learn. All right. No need to be active. No need to demonstrate knowledge. Outcomes-based learning system requires active learning. That means, how do you want to evaluate students whether they have achieved the outcome? You need to ask them questions. You need to have assessment with them. All right. So that is outcomes based. Okay. So example, with my group over here, I'm doing teaching at the moment. So outcomes based education is basically when I am assessing you all. The method that I'm assessing you all is visual assessment. Understand? Okay. Okay. So when I say the word understand, I can see your eyes. I can see you all nodding. This is comprehension. Why am I doing this? Because number one, the limitation of time that I have. I cannot give you a test at the moment. Number two, it is the competency of my candidates. You guys are my candidates, and you guys are quite competent. You guys are competent. You're knowledgeable, intelligent people. Can. In class, it's different. You want to assess the student, you can ask them, do you understand? Yeah. You can also do other methods. You can ask them to demonstrate knowledge. Demonstrate means, can you please explain this theory? So when a student can explain the theory, student have achieved outcome. Understand? So when they understand, when they achieve outcome space, they demonstrate to you already. A student can tell you, sir, I can do, I can bake a gato. I can bake. Cakap saja. Demonstrate. If the student can demonstrate, build, that is called outcomes based. You show me lah. You show me what you can actually do. Okay? Okay. So the trick is this. So creme caramel, this is a general joke that you always use. Creme caramel is always very difficult when you turn. Creme caramel is like a dessert, very shaky dessert. You always turn, it always collapse. Correct tak? Put more gelatin lah inside, play cheat lah. Can tak? So that is supposed to be a pastry joke that on outcome. Sometimes outcome you can cheat on the outcome. Put gelatin inside to make it. Anyway, sorry, I understand not all of you are culinary. The old culinary thing is coming into my mind already. Okay, put that aside. So continuous based assessment, continuous based learning or traditional based learning is assessment process, exam, one exam. OBE, continuous assessment, because you want them to demonstrate. So this is where we see traditional versus OBE over there. Okay. Now, so the paradigm shift in education and training philosophy. What is this paradigm shift when we're talking about OBE? One, traditional was always on teacher-centered. I am the cikgu, I am the sifu, I am the one that knows all the knowledge, you listen to me. Okay. Now, when you go into OBE side, you're looking into a student-centered learning. Teachers are facilitators. This is where you need to go. I am there to help you to achieve your goal. Okay, I'm there to help you achieve the goal. Teacher-centered is I drive you to KLCC. Student-centered teacher facilitation is I tell you where KLCC is. I tell you the options on how you can go, and with your knowledge, you choose the best way to go to KLCC. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, I drive you, you don't learn, you sit in the car only. But when I teach you, I tell you the option, and you choose. Choosing requires knowledge. Correct or not? It is easy to buy mangoes, but it is difficult to buy good mangoes. You understand? Anybody can buy mangoes. Go and buy mangoes. I go to the shop and I just take and buy. Buying good mangoes require knowledge, understanding. What is the definition of a good mango? What is the condition of a good mango? Then when I go there, I need to do selection. Selection requires application of knowledge. So what is a good mango, guys? Guys, what is the definition of a good mango? What are the signs? Smell. Correct. Smell. Lagi? Muted. Anwar, muted.
All the sensory, smell, look, taste, all the sensory.
So you need knowledge, right? You need knowledge, right? You need knowledge how to buy a good mango. Which I've always failed. I've always failed on buying good watermelon. Never successful one. It's very difficult. You need knowledge to buy good watermelon. Correct, right? Not?
Yes.
It's not easy. People think it's easy. It's not easy. You need knowledge and you need experience. All right. So this is what is it? The paradigm shift. It is the paradigm shift from teacher-centered to student-centered. Give them the tools so that they can demonstrate their knowledge. Okay. So sometimes when we're looking into experiential learning, you can also do this in OBE. You bring your students to market. Okay, guys, I want a group of you, go and choose 3 mangoes, good ones. I want you to choose a mangosteen. I want you to choose watermelon immediately. So students will need to go there and use their skill and knowledge to choose a good mango. That's learning. That is OBE. Why? Outcomes, they learn through their outcomes. You get this, guys? Okay? Okay. So, why is this so important? Why is outcomes-based so important? If you look into the skills, key skills employers are looking for, Prospect Magazine, say in June 2023, these are the key skills. Communication, resilient, commercial awareness, leadership, adaptability, and so on. New Zealand government site in July 2023, positive attitude, communication, teamwork, blah, 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 and so on. Look at what are the key skills here. A lot of the key skills here are basically skills which are not your knowledge itself. It is the way to adapt. All right. How do we work with people? Positive attitude, teamwork, communication, self-management, and so on. So why is OBE so important now? Because industry is changing. Industry want people that are different. Industry want people that are not only able to study well, but able to demonstrate their knowledge, able to work with people. Okay? Outcomes-based is the ability to work with individuals. Could be. That is something very important in many companies. So that is how the stress of it, on the importance of it is there. Okay? Not just study, macam SPM dulu. You study for one exam. Now it's continuous. Want a person to be able to be expressive, able to demonstrate that knowledge. Okay. Different countries, different skills. Top 5 most important skills for employers globally. All right, problem solving, teamwork, and so on. So this is something I also took one that is a little bit older, and to show you that even nearly 10 years ago, it is these key aspects: teamwork, problem solving, communication. These are the skills that the company wants. As they say, the degree or your master's or your PhD open doors. Let you apply. For you to grow in the company is your ability to do these skills. Is the ability. All right. The degree, your master's, your PhD tells the employer that this person got brain. Can think lah, can do lah, can do lah. Then you grow with the company through this. So what companies want is now this. These are the skills that are critical. No point having a genius that cannot work in a group. Okay, no more. And the thing about it is, in today's industry, it has evolved so much that a lot of traditional careers that has always been one individual working, one person working is no more. I give you, for example, recent feedback from ACCA. You know, ACCA is accountancy. People who take that wants to be accountant. And a lot of accountants, one reason why they want to be accountants, they don't want to mix with people. They want to, accountancy, doing auditing and so on. But many companies now require what you call client management. You know what's client management? Client management means you have to meet your client, You may be an accountant, you are an ACCA graduate, you are an auditor or whatever, but now you are meeting client. So what is important? Not only your knowledge, but the ability to communicate. Gone are the days that if you don't like to meet people, you become an accountant, no more. Now you need to meet client also. This is what the market is changing. So the outcome is the industry is telling us, guys, student now, not only they need bachelor in bachelor in engineering or bachelor in whatever, they need other skills. And this is the key outcome that we need them to have. Okay. Past, work 9 to 5. Now, work anytime. All right. Gig work and so on. So as you can see from this list, it is evolving. The way the industry is totally evolving. Okay. So the OBE philosophy focus on outcomes. Okay. So when we talk about the outcome itself, it will impact what? Curriculum design. How we design our curriculum. Okay. That means if we already see that communication skill, teamwork is so important, that's what the industry want, kan? Then when we design our curriculum, we need to make sure there is elements that will emphasize on teamwork, communication, resilient. Okay, resilient means what? Accept failure and don't cry and say, I want to resign. That is resilient. Correct, right? Guys, you must tell your student, working life, you sure fail one, sure got fail one. Nobody working life perfect one. Sure got kena marah boss punya. But today different, kena marah boss, resign. The mother will come. Huh? Right or not? The mother will come. I've heard stories, going for interview. The mother follow the daughter go for interview. Siapa yang mau interview? Siapa yang mau kerja? Anak ke mak dia? But it's happening. Alright? You all know, right? This kind of thing, I so garu kepala. That is what it is, resilient. Okay? So, curriculum design will be impacted. 2, teaching and learning. What we do lah. We go in class, we teach. So, the way we teach also need to evolve. Cannot just one way. So, if you want to encourage communication skill in your student, you mustn't be one way lah. You must have interaction. Get students to teach. So, maybe you can use flipped classroom. Flipped classroom. I love flipped classroom last time. When I was teaching in hotel school, I always use it. Okay, flipped classroom is where you go into class. First lesson, you explain what is the syllabus all about. Second lesson, introduction, and explain that in the next few lessons, the next few chapters, I want individual groups to come up and do the teaching. do the presentation. That is flipped classroom. So the first week, first group will come out and talk about chapter 2, for example. Before they can do, remember, before you can teach, you must know. So they have to read lah. They read, they understand, make sure the concept is good. Not sure, they come and see me. Then during class, they are the one doing the teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, students, this is what about this chapter. Why is it good? Flip classroom, guys. Students learn how to select important information. One chapter in one book, I used to teach human resources marketing, can be 30 pages, 30 pages. But in that 30 pages, maybe only 4 slides that is important. A lot of fillers. Fillers are things where the textbook to explain. Story lah, example lah, this and that. But the real EC is only maybe around 3, 4. Now, student who need to do that chapter, when they read, they are able to pick up, this is important, this is important. And that is learning. Remember the example of picking a good mango? So now all of you this week going to buy mango, right? And then you're going to try whether you are intelligent or not. No. It's not like that. All right. So if you cannot pick, doesn't mean you are not. Means you don't have that knowledge yet. You don't have that knowledge. So you gain that knowledge. But for Yuan and Anwar, if you pick mangoes that are not sweet, you're in the wrong career. Okay? Betul, so you should know.
Yeah.
You
But
are
the
the
heart
expert.
is the sweetness, the sweetness.
Huh?
Sometimes have to buy first, then taste the sweetness.
Tak boleh. Tak boleh. You need to look at cues. That means it won't be 100% accurate, but possibility is higher. Okay? My knowledge and your knowledge on picking mangoes, yours is higher. So your chances of failure is lower. Not doesn't mean 0% it is lower. Mine is mid. All right? Still not that perfect yet. All right? So this is what it means. Guys, understand? Teaching and learning. That's how we evolve. And of course, assessment. Assessment is a critical matter on OBE. When you want to evaluate students' outcome, whether they are competent, you must have the correct assessment. All right? Must have correct assessment. So if you are under your CLO is communication skill, verbal communication, CLO, please don't evaluate them on an exam. Verbal communication is not evaluated by exam. Okay? So that is very important. Now, because it is part of the 11 subcluster, all of you will have communication skill in your assessment, kan? Sure got one. So you cannot evaluate verbal communication with a written exam. What do you need to do? Presentation. All right? So your assessment needs to be accurate. That is very important. Understand, guys? Okay. So relevance of OBE, Professor Datuk Dr. Irham Radin Umar, some of you may know him if you're following OBE in Malaysia. He's very prominent in this area. Rating accreditation requirements, quality assurance audit by the Ministry of Education, Malaysia's qualifications framework, MQF, like what I stressed earlier on, emphasize on learning outcome. Everything is learning outcome. Is at the end of the day, student needs to demonstrate that, What we are doing is just a process, a tool to ensure students are good. That is the important thing. Okay. Our role here is to ensure students get the knowledge and how they demonstrate that knowledge. Accreditation requirement by professional programs, by professional bodies emphasize learning outcome. Let me tell you, engineering board, all engineering programs are under engineering board. For them, since inception, since started, it's already outcomes based. Why? Engineering is so unique. A student who go for a class on bridge building should not be passed on the number of hours of class the student went. But the student should only pass that course if the student can demonstrate a bridge that actually works. Correct, right? Do you want, it's same as nursing, right? Not same, it's outcomes based. Do you want engineers to pass their exam by the number of hours they study? Tak nak. They can study for 100 hours, but know nothing about bridge building, and the bridge will still fall. That is why engineering board has always been about outcomes based since start already. Okay, because they need the student who is a civil engineer or a building specialist to be able to build a real building, not based on apa yang he went through, but apa yang dia boleh demonstrate. You get the difference there? Number two, there is no board, but culinary is the same. No student will get a first-class degree in culinary management if it's based on ILO. ILO means cakap ni, I can roast chicken, I can bake bread, I can do this, I can do that. I went for a 30 hours class on Danish pastry, so I'm very good. You won't take, you will show demonstration. Correct or not? But there is no board for hospitality yet lah. It's subjective. But nursing and engineers got board. Very important. And nursing has this thing called, what do you call that, Jennifer, where they go in the final semester, they go to the hospital. Apa tu? Bukan training, there's another word for it, man.
OSCE, you're asking for that?
Sorry? Posting, is it?
OSCE. OSCE. Every semester they have to go through OSCE.
Every semester, kan? They go there and they really do. They demonstrate their knowledge. Because nursing, no joke, nursing is really people's health. So you got to make sure these people are competent. Their outcome, they can really prove to you the outcome. Okay? Understand this, guys? Okay. Now, real benefits of OBE. Prof. Suhaimi. Anticipation of real benefits. More directed and coherent curriculum. Once you have OBE done properly, your curriculum will be very directed and coherent. Very good. Because we know where we are heading. Graduates will be more relevant to industry and other stakeholders. Because the stakeholders and industry already told us we need people that can have teamwork, this and that. You put it in, outcomes based is that. This is what the industry want. And CQI, continuous quality improvement, is an inevitable consequence. If it doesn't work, we change. OBE requires a circle, ongoing change. Doesn't work, we evolve. Doesn't work, we evolve. This is why it is so important. Okay? This gentleman is still around. Okay? Now, therefore, OBE is an educational process, what we do, directed focus at achieving certain specific outcomes in terms of individual students' learning. So outcomes are key things students should understand and be able to do, or the qualities they should develop. All right. So this is what the definition of outcome is. Certain things that they must understand and they are able to do. This is an outcome. So when you look at the syllabus, your table 4, there is a very clear outcome. That is why they have this thing, not only the explanation, but course learning outcome. The course learning outcome clearly states what the student must learn in this course. Okay, in that course. That is what outcomes are. Okay. Both structures and curricula are designed to achieve those capabilities and qualities, and educational structures and curriculum are regarded as means, not ends. If they do not do the job, they are retaught, CQI. That means if we have a curriculum, okay, and now the curriculum is not developing our students well enough for the industry, we must do CQI and change the curriculum. Because the outcome is the competency of our students in the industry. If the industry don't want us, then we are not doing justice. We are wasting our time. We are actually cheating our students. So we got to make sure the curriculum meets what the industry want. Understand? Okay, so this is how it evolves. OBE is a process that involves the restructuring of curriculum. Because of this, your curriculum needs to be evolved and restructured periodically. MQA requires, perlukan. Every year you must do curriculum review. Every year. That doesn't mean you change everything, but you must do. And every cycle means for degree 3 years, for diploma 2 years, there should be significant change in your curriculum. Understand? Many of us may not do it. Why? Because MQA already told you, my friend, the market changes so fast. Sekarang ada AI, everything. And you're telling me your syllabus that was developed 15 years ago, it is still relevant? Tak ada. Structure maybe yes, but certain things may need to change. Certain things may need to tambah. Certain things may no need. All right. So this is what it is. Okay. Among expected changes, what are the expected changes when we look into OBE? Curriculum restructuring, innovative, flexible delivering methods. Because outcomes-based, you may want to change the way that you deliver. It will have an impact. Variety of assessment and evaluation methods. Because the industry already tell us teamwork is so important, communication is so important, resilience is so important. Can this be assessed in an exam? Not. You cannot assess a student's resilience, tahan lasak, with an exam, right or not? There must be other ways, projects, assignment. So your assessment also need to change. Maybe you understand this, guys? Okay, see, many a times we do assessment, we give final exam. It may not be the best assessment method, but it is very efficient. One exam, 50 people. You assess them that way. A good assessment method customizes individual students based on their ability to achieve the goal. But it is ridiculous to do it because we don't have the resources. Betul? We don't have the resources. Gila, you want to do 1 by 1, 50. Oh, you die. Okay, so a set exam is very efficient, but may not be effective. It is efficient. All right, senang nak buat. All right, so generally the pros outweigh the cons. The pros outweigh the cons. But if you're looking at really effective, assess the student betul-betul until you really know them, tak baik. Something else, individual assessment better, individual one-to-one better, but not effective and not efficient because we don't have staff. So this is always a balance, like a daching, like a daching. Weighing machine, daching pula, that's an old word. A weighing machine. One side, we need to balance the best of both worlds. Understand, guys? Okay? Macam tu lah. Okay? Collection of evidence and continuous quality improvement. Okay? Continuous quality improvement. So, when we talk about the OBE process, how do we do the process? So, in our education context, this is it. Step 1, planning, developing, implementing, and evaluating. Okay, so let's look into the first step. When we talk about planning, in the planning stage, it is where we want to set the curriculum. We develop a program. So that is the planning stage. You must have OBE. So the first thing when you want to develop any curriculum is you need to look at the PEO, Program Educational Objective. What is Program Educational Objective? Is what the students should attain when they graduate and 5 years after that. Okay? What the students should attain and 5 years after that. What should they be able to demonstrate and 5 years after that? So this is very, very difficult. Very difficult. Why? If I'm to ask you guys, hey guys, I want to develop a new program. What should I do? What program should I do? So you need to think now, if you're going to develop the program now, a degree, today, it will be approved in 2026. First cohort come in 2026 for a degree, will finish in end of 2029. They will work in 2030. Understand? Betul 2030. What is important? What career? What role? What job is needed in 2030? Miss Oi, can I ask you in culinary? What is needed in 2030? If I ask you what you're going to eat tonight, also you don't know. Correct or not? Malam ini makan apa pun tak tahu. And you want to think of 2030. But that is what OBE is. Because when we set a program now, you need to think, student graduate kerja bila? 2030, And not only 2030, their degree need to be relevant until 2035. 5 years lah. Mustn't get degree, the paper and its toilet paper. So it must be relevant. So it's so difficult, you know, guys. It's so difficult. But this is what OBE is. Because it's outcomes-based, mah. Apa yang diperlukan by the industry. So we need to do a lot of forecasting. We need to do a lot of reading. We need to speak to industry people. Then only we will know. We need to speak to futurists, people that at least know what's going to happen to the world. And I am not one of them because with AI technology today, it has shaken the world in the past 3 years. Crazy. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year down the road, I cannot say anything. I also don't know. So it's very difficult. So this is what, when you talk about OBE, guys, the first step, PEO, you need to set your PEO. Once you set your PEO, then only you set your PLO, Program Learning Outcome. You already know apa yang diperlukan. Apa yang diperlukan, then you set your Program Learning Outcome. So we are going to do Bachelor in Culinary and Engineering Technology. That is the future. Example. Okay? Okay? Because that is what we forecast. Then we set your PLO. What is your PLO? And we always remember this thing called program standard. Program standard in Malaysia semua ada punya. Nursing ada, hotel ada, business school ada, program standard. Okay? So once you set your PLO, then only you do your curriculum. Apa tu curriculum? Curriculum is the breakdown of what is needed for the student to attain that bachelor in business and engineering. So for a student to attain a bachelor in business and engineering, culinary engineering or whatever, they need to have certain skill. So you need to put down the main skill. The program standard will help. So once you put down the main skill, you have different courses. Courses is subject. Mathematics perlu, ini perlu, itu perlu, and so on. Then you set your course learning outcome. Apa yang diperlukan for the student to learn for this particular course. Okay? Then, you look at this. This is how it is. You look into the CLO that you want to do. You look into the teaching and learning activities and assessment. You calculate the student learning time. Then only you get credit hour. What do many of us do is, many of us like this, when our boss asks us to do a subject, hey, can you develop a marketing subject? First thing in your mind, you put how many credits? Oh, this is going to be 4 credits. So you structure it based on 4 credits. Betul? Wrong. That is the wrong way to do. You are already dictated by credit. No, you should be dictated by what the students must learn. Then from what the students must learn, you look into the activities, the teaching and learning, how many hours do they need to learn, how long do they need, what kind of assignment and assessment they need to do. Then you calculate the student learning time. If you calculate, and it is 160 jam, then you divide by 40, then you dapat 4 credit. That is where 4 credit comes. Understand? Not dictated by credit. You may calculate, and it's only 120 because this program doesn't require much marketing, for example. So you calculate, student only need to learn a bit here and there, 120 credit. So it becomes 3 credit only. It doesn't need to be a 4 credit, it's only 3 credit. Okay? So courses or subjects must be dictated not by credit value, but what is needed by the student. Outcomes based. You see? It's outcomes based. The outcome is the student need this. So there must be more time in this, more time in that, more time in that, more time in that. Understand? Okay? So this is how it is. Then you get credit hour. If you calculate and you find that suddenly you get 200 hours. Wow. Marketing subject, marketing course, calculate SLT 200. 200 is 5 credit. We don't do 5 credit right now. So you split that into 2 subject, 2 courses. 2 dan 3, maybe 2 dan 3. Alright? So it can be a 2 credit for one and a 3 credit for one. 5 credit can be a bit heavy. So you split it. Maybe intro is a 2 credit. Then you do a 3 credit for a little bit more advanced. But then your boss will scold you. Hey, my friend, why you do like that? So susah. Don't make 5 credit lah, make 4 credit lah. Then you answer, boss, based on OBE, outcomes based, student must have this. And I've already calculated the student learning time and assessment, everything come out SLT 200 jam. So if we do 4 credit is 160 jam, we minus 40 jam, sudah salah. Because student will not have enough knowledge on that area. You get me? It is based on outcome. It is not based on saya suka, you suka. So that is very important. Now, I can tell you a secret. 90% of the institution develop their program by credit hour. It's wrong. You know why? Senang. You develop courses by credit hour first. It's easy, right? Not 120 credit, you pecahkan marketing 4, human resources 4, ini berapa. Then after that you do. That is why we are that part that a little bit terpesong lah. Okay, it's not correct. The correct way is this. What is the outcome first? Then only you come up, you structure. Then only you calculate credit hour. Faham guys? So even though you all do here, I hope that next time maybe you go to another institution, you work in Taylor, Sunway or whatever, please take this and implement that. The industry need to change on that. Okay, need to change on that. Very important. Okay. So after you come up with your credit hour, your curriculum sudah buat, then you do implementation. That means you run your curriculum lah. Here is evidencing. You have your test blueprint, lesson plan, marking scheme, rubric semua lah. Ada kat sini lah. Alright. This is running the program. This is the teaching and learning part. Teaching and learning. Alright. And then after that, we have, of course, evaluating. Evaluating is you evaluate the course, you close the loop, CQI. You do curriculum review 1 tahun. So if curriculum review, here's cakap, this subject is good, this program is good, kita maintain lah. Kita maintain. If they say that certain things not so good, then we change. Then we may change a few things. Okay. So this is called the OBE process. It is driven from the top. PEO first. Then it goes down. So it's PEO first. That is why a correct method of developing program cannot happen in 1 day or 1 week. It is really think about what program do we need? Is that important in 5 years down the road, for example? Not today, because students will only graduate 5 years down the road. Okay? And their degree will only work then. Okay? So that is why it's important. So if we are developing a program based on today's scenario, we may not be accurate. Industry advisors are very important. Okay. Any questions here, guys? Like for Prema, being the PL in your institution, in your school, these are the things that are important. Yeah. However, if you're looking at a UOL, there's not much you can do because it's already dictated. They have already dictated in the UOL is external franchise. Luar punya external exam. So there's nothing much you can do. But the rest of you, if it's an internal program, then it is for you all to do it as how you would do it. Okay. And of course, I stressed a lot on the Malaysian qualification framework earlier on in my welcome. So this is the same thing. I just earlier on I've already talked about it, but this is just to show you what are the new things that the new MQF second edition 2024 they came out. Value-based education. See, I want to. This is their own definition from the document. Emphasize the development of moral, ethical, and social values. Because the government already know. Knowledge-wise, we all cukup already. Ada. But the problem is moral, ethical, and social value tak ada. So they want to integrate into all courses. All. Tak boleh lari already now. So even though now you are teaching butchery, you need to integrate moral values. Sendiri faham how to do. Okay? Moral values. Wastage. They want you to think about wastage. That's why the SDG. After cutting, what can we do? The scrap. We can make sausages. We can make this and that. We can, it's like the kelapa sawit story. The kelapa sawit, everything of the kelapa sawit boleh dipakai, You read about that, right? Not? Okay. So if you are just teaching on the minyak kelapa sawit, under the SDG we are talking about poverty elevation. You can teach about the trunk of kelapa sawit can do something. Engineering school is making that into plates. They have their project, they make plates. And then the leaf can do something else, So that is integrating SDG lah. So culinary, you also need to think lah. All right. Going forward, this is what already must instill in the student's mind. This is the future, guys. This is the future. So under the MQF, as you all know, the MQF is the one that also states on this aspect on tahap. Have you all seen this document? Have you seen this? This is important. In Malaysia, now, this is Malaysia's tahap. When I say this is MQF level 4, level 4 means it's a diploma, 90 credits. So level 6, level 7, level 8, this is MQF yang state lah. So MQF is the one that state this. Okay, and entry requirements. All right. So if you are saying that a degree must be a minimum of 120 credits. Who's the one that say 120 credits? MQF lah, Malaysian Qualifications Framework. The framework is the one yang dictate, yang degree 120. Okay. So then touch a little bit on program educational objective. Program educational objective are specific goals consistent with the mission and vision of the institution of higher learning, containing the 9 MOHE attributes or the 5 clusters. We have these 5 clusters, responsive to the express interest of program stakeholders and describing the expected achievement or career milestone of graduates in their career and professional life few years after graduation. Okay, so that is the PEO. Okay, now additionally, why do we need to establish PEOs and PLOs? Program educational objectives and program learning outcomes reflect what is intended the learner to achieve. Okay, so that's very important. The PEO, whatever we do. So let me ask you all, it's easier for me to relate to hospitality because I was there. You think our PEO is still relevant with what is changing today? You think, is it still relevant? Maybe not. And it is not wrong to say no, because we need to change lah. Then we need to evolve. Do you think our PLO is still relevant? When is the last time we did a review? Itu yang penting. We need to think about that. It is crucial for PEOs and PLOs to be expressed explicitly and made known to learners and other stakeholders. All right. The student that sign in for your program must be confident that whatever they are doing, the degree that they take, they get, when they graduate, they got value. They got value. That degree got value. And the knowledge that they attain is still valuable. That is how important it is. Okay. So learning outcomes in relation to National Institutional Vision Framework. So if you look into this is taken from government document, National Education Philosophy, highest level. National Education Philosophy, the philosophy of Malaysia for education. It drives Malaysian Qualifications Framework, MQF. It drives program standard, vision and mission, and objectives and learning outcomes are there. See? That is how this is the flow. All right. So whatever we do over here, it is all to complement the national education philosophy. That is why there was a time, I remember, about government stressing a lot on STEM, STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths, right? They were emphasizing a lot. They want Malaysia to be a high-tech industry, high-tech country. So that is a philosophy, and the philosophy drives everything that has been done. Okay, so OBE and so on is actually driven by the education philosophy. Okay, so relating MQF learning outcomes to competencies. So when we talk about MQF, Malaysian Qualifications Framework, we have the 11 subclusters over here. This is the 11 subclusters: knowledge, understanding, cognitive skill, practical skill. So under the National Education Plan, NEP's competency, it complements developing industry talent with knowledge and skill here. Skill. Molding citizens with shared values here. And developing personality and character here. Why I want to share this, guys, please take note. technical knowledge under our Malaysian plan covers our 11 subcluster, right? It is only 1, 2, 3, and 7. Here, 4. 4 out of the 11 is knowledge. All the others are molding citizens, making sure that they are good individuals and developing personality and character. Out of the 11, we have 11 PLOs kan? All right, 11 program learning outcomes. 4 is on knowledge. The others are all sejahtera community. Sejahtera community. Okay, that is what it is heading. That is where we are, However, you will see that a lot of emphasis is on this knowledge and skill. We do a lot of knowledge and skill. Not say we don't teach, but we need to emphasize on interpersonal communication, personal leadership, ethics, and so on also. Okay, so that is something that is important, very important also. Any questions here? Okay, now for many individuals who don't read the MQF, there's no issue. But when they see this, they say, "Wow, actually, there's our document in our country really, really is good. It develops a very holistic individual. Not only are we good thinking, we are good sejahtera, and we develop our personal skills. So it's very holistic. How it is implemented, itu lain cerita. That's a different story. But the document, the MQF is actually very good. I am one of the individuals who read through. I'm not involved in it, definitely, but I read through and I find it a very good document. All right. Implementation is different. How do we implement? That is why sometimes when we MQA come and do audit, different individual got different way of thinking. All right. So sometimes they come here and say, hey, you all must emphasize this and that and that. But it's against what is required by the ministry. Okay. But because when they come and do audit, it is termed as an individual. That is where the challenge comes in. Okay. So in Malaysia, of course, there are the 5 clusters of learning. And this has replaced the 8 MQF domains. So I believe you all have already seen this many, many times. Knowledge, understanding, cognitive skills. So this is the 11 subcluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So in Malaysia, the MQF state that every individual yang graduate must have this 11 PLO, program learning outcome. And the program learning outcome will cover this knowledge and understanding, cognitive. Knowledge is I know. Cognitive is able to think. Okay. Practical skill, interpersonal, and so on. So all of these things every student must have at the end of the day. This is the PLOs, or what you call the 5 clusters of learning that MQF has stated. All right, guys, you have seen this, right? Especially if you look into your table 4, mesti ada punya ni. Mesti ada punya. Okay. So as we stressed earlier on, the PEOs, it is always emphasized in OBE because PEOs is the key statements that drive everything you do after that. Okay, so PEOs are 4 to 5 statements of what the graduates are in 4 to 5 years' time. It must meet the 5 clusters. Their objectives are not directly measured, but serves as an aims of what graduates will be many years after graduation. Program educational objectives. These are the educational objectives of that program. So when the students sign up for a program, they need to know, selepas I complete this program, this is what I will be and why the industry will want to hire me. That is the PEO. Okay? All right? So PEO will drive PLO, will drive CLO, and will drive your weekly topic. See? So it is all driven by the PEO. So guys, if PEO salah, semua hancur. That is how important it is. Show you again, taken from government document. Asas Pembelajaran dan Pengajaran Pensyarat Institut Pengajian Tinggi. PEO is dictated by alumni, misi, VC, stakeholders, and penasihat industry. Will drive PLO, will drive CLO. So this is so important for OBE, for anything at all. PEO is the one. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. This is the one. Like kali you run your own college, you run your own institution. Make sure when you start your business, you start your institution, your own college or university, you instill in all your staff this. This is the first thing that you should instill. The problem with our old institution is previously we've been running differently. Then when all this come in, it is like we need to belajar. And need to belajar susah mau tukar. Whereas if it is totally new, you instill straight away. Then you'll be doing the correct thing. Okay, so I put one simple one thing. Develop the PEOs for an undergraduate program of your discipline. Plan launch 2026. So if it is law, let's say it's not a franchise program, you want to do something that is a local law, a bachelor in law in something. If it is nursing or allied science, what do you want to do? If it is business, what do you want to do? If it is hospitality, what you want to do? It's not easy, right? Not. It is not as easy. Okay, I'm going to do in bachelor. I'm going to develop a bachelor in business and marketing. Cakap je senang. Is that what the industry wants? What is the evidence that that's the thing that they want? So it is not easy. It requires thought. Okay, I have sat into many schools when they do program development, and I find this is the problem. Many of the programs fail. You ask them, what is going to happen in 4 years, 5 years down the road? They cannot answer you. Why do you want to do this? Oh, we are doing this because our competitors, they're doing this and a lot of students. That is today, a lot of students. But when you develop, bila lama lagi kan? Right or not? So it's different. The future is different. The market is different. Today we have a lot of students, but in the future may not. Okay? Understand, guys? Any questions? Want to continue? I have a little bit more on learning outcomes, or will you like a break? Still can tahan or not? Boleh. I see somebody sudah mau pingsan. Mr. Ong sudah hilang. I'm going to speak to Marcos. Okay. Can boleh I'm giving a crash course that normally I do training outside. It is 2 days and so boleh lah. That means you guys are more competent. Okay, learning domains. So when we talk about OBE, everything itu semua masuk EC semua, there must be that learning domains that we have to touch on a little bit. Now, this guy is Benjamin Bloom. That is how he looks like. All right, Benjamin Bloom, or known as Bloom's taxonomy of learning domains. Basically, there are 3 key areas. Now, please take note. It is you. The more you read, you will know that you cannot give all the recognition to Benjamin Bloom. There are many individuals that were also involved in the research. Okay, so but basically Bloom came up with the Bloom's taxonomy. Pernah dengar? We have cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. So very easy. Visually, cognitive, kepala, can think. Affective, heart. Psychomotor, tangan. Okay, so based on Bloom's taxonomy, these are the learning domains that we can develop on a increasing scale. Increasing scale means like cognitive, there are 6 levels from lowest to highest. Okay, now Bloom's taxonomy refers to the classification of the different objectives that educators set for students. It's called learning objective or outcome. Bloom's taxonomy divides education objectives into 3 domains: affective, psychomotor, cognitive. All right? Okay, senang Okay, now, sorry. Within the taxonomy, learning at a higher level is dependent on having attained prerequisite knowledge and skill at a lower level. So, theory of Bloom's taxonomy is this: before you can achieve tahap 2 in cognitive, you kena achieve tahap 1. Alright? You cannot jump to tahap 2. Alright? So under cognitive got 6 level. You need to tahap 1, tahap 2, tahap 3, tahap 4, tahap 5, tahap 6. You cannot jump straight away tahap 5 and 6. Cannot. You need to go through. Alright? A goal of Bloom's taxonomy is to motivate educators to focus on all three domains, creating a more holistic form of education. So what they mean is this. Bloom's taxonomy was created so that when you teach, you do not want to teach a student on knowledge only. You want to also develop the student on heart and also on psychomotor. We want a student that is clever and won't cheat a company. You see, and won't cheat you. So it's heart effective. All right. So that is what the hope for this taxonomy is. Learning is many domain. Learning bukan satu domain, bukan kepala sahaja. It is psychomotor and it is also effective. Understand, guys? Now, if you remember earlier on, I show you a chart different color. And then I show you that the government also do the same thing, right? That means in Malaysia's framework, the head is also only a few things. Then they also emphasize a lot on the heart also, right? All right. Remember the thing called sejahtera, the community that is sejahtera, and so on. Yes, that means Malaysian government also follows this. Sama. They want to develop holistic education. Holistic means semua, not only one. All right. Like holistic medicine. It is not only attacking one, but attacking this handling the whole body. Okay. So as you can see, cognitive head, affective heart, psychomotor hand, 3H. Okay. Now, so when we look at it, the learning outcome, it is basically cognitive, affective, psychomotor. So like example, for cognitive, lowest level is knowledge. Then we have comprehension. Then we have application. Then we can analyze. Then we synthesize. Then we evaluate. So knowledge is low level. That's why when I said, let me explain to you. If I tell anybody to buy mango, boy, go and buy 5 mangoes. He just go and buy mango. What does he need to know? Apa itu mango? So he can see mango, he just take. Knowledge. But come back, mango, horrible. Now, for him to be able to select, he is using application and analysis. He goes to the mango stall, he knows what mango is, and in his mind, there's an equation. Good mango adalah bau, smell, good. Color, good. Firm, good. So he takes the product and he evaluates the mango to this condition. So what is he doing? He is doing analysis and application. Higher level. Synthesis and evaluation. This is an even higher level. He may think, why does my mother want mango? She wants mango because she needs a substitute. She needs to make mango puree, for example, for a dish. So she may think synthesis and evaluation. What is the substitute for mango? What is my mother looking for? Color, consistency, taste, consistency when you make a puree. So he may come up with a solution that can substitute mango. Very high level synthesis and evaluation. You see what I'm saying? So this person from low to high, that is what learning domains is in cognitive. Faham? Okay? So when we talk about our student, diploma student should achieve until here. Degree student should achieve all, but majority of the bulk is here, boleh apply. When you do your master's and your PhD, knowledge comprehension, they won't reward you. No marks. It's only here. Because you are creating new knowledge. You create substitute for mango. Okay? Macam tu lah. Substitute. So in culinary, you can tell your student, you need to use sugar. But you know sugar is not healthy. What is the substitute for sugar? Think. Decide lah. Some student will put up the hand. Sir, honey. Yeah, honey is a substitute, man. Then they evaluate. However, for this particular case, recipe, and so on, we cannot use because the consistency will impact something else. Wow, very high level. But that is what we want the students to know. Faham guys? Macam tu lah. So that is what learning outcomes for this. When we talk about domain, why do we have this tahap? I just explained to you. Any questions, guys? And okay. Our goal, guys, is to is to try to see where as high as possible that our students can achieve lah. Okay. So cognitive, lower, higher, and they have this thing called action verb. Okay. So when you are setting your exam, always remember, use the action verb. Lower level for knowledge, define memory and just vomit out. Mid application, apply, analyze. Apply this theory into this situation. That's called application. Student know and he apply. Choosing good mangoes is application because you're applying knowledge that you know into actual scenario of able to take a good mango. Here, evaluation, assess, coming up with substitutes, evaluate, interpret, all right? And so on, generate, come up with something new, synthesizing. Okay. So that is for cognitive. For psychomotor, also, we have perception set, guided response mechanism, and so on. Okay. And then affective domain. Receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, internalizing, how you act upon a situation. Okay. So basically, as you can see here, include manner we deal with things emotionally, feelings, interests, attitudes, appreciation that might result from instruction. How do we react to it? Okay. So what is important here, guys, is to understand that at the end of the day, when we look at OBE, outcomes based, we understand it is driven by the industry, and the industry tells us what they want in our student. And now they tell us that they do not only want student that is clever, intelligent, they want students that are also holistic, psychomotor, and affective, the heart. So we as educators, it is our duty to make sure that our students have this, being able to do this also. Okay, so when we look at now, what are the levels that our students are supposed to achieve? So the level of learning would be should the subjects or course offer. So be our UOW standard, this is UOW benchmark, cognitive affective psychomotor. For diploma, C3, high of C3, cognitive 3, P4 or A3. Undergraduate, majority will be C4, P4 or A3. Master's, C5, P5, A4. PhD is all maximum, C5, P6, A5. Does not refer to maximum, neither the minimum. This is the average. Kebanyakan should be here. Understand, Okay? So you need to understand that. Okay? The reason why this is important is because at different levels, the expectations are different. Okay, it must be higher. It must be higher. Okay. If a PhD student is writing a paper, a marketing paper, and the PhD student define marketing mix consists of the 7 Ps. And when you are marking, you won't give marks on that, because at that level, what the person is giving is fundamental, is low level. All right. So that is expected to know. But if a diploma student gives the definition of that 7 Ps, you give marks because, wow, he's demonstrating knowledge. Okay. The undergraduate student, you will give, but less marks. The masters, you won't give. Masters and PhD, you won't give because that is expected knowledge. Understand this, guys? So that is what it means by this is called the levels of learning. Any questions here? Especially when you set your assessment. Paham? Yeah, So what are the assessment strategies, teaching and learning assessment strategies? If you're looking at knowledge and understanding, lecture and tutorial. You want to give knowledge, you teach, lecture. And the assessment, written, exam, test, or quiz. If it is communication skill, you are teaching communication skill, how to communicate, verbal, case study, project, or tutorial so that they can communicate. And the best way for assessment is presentation, not exam. Exam cannot do communication skill lah. Okay. So this guide here actually helps on able to use the right assessment method. Leadership, autonomy, and responsibility. If you're evaluating leadership, case study, project, work, presentation, project, industrial attachment. You are evaluating leadership. Don't give exam. You are evaluating ethics. Don't give exam. How? Are you an ethical person? Please describe. Of course, I will say I'm an ethical person lah. Yes, ma'am, sir, I am a very ethical person. But in reality, they may not. You need to see their action. That is why it is on case study, projects, tutorial, discussion, see how they handle certain key elements. Now, if you look into this, my friends, you look into this, knowledge, understanding, and cognitive skill, exam, both of these things are written. The rest, most of them are not written, not written exam. So what we are trying to say here is this. A better method of assessments is not exam. Exam can only evaluate this. Knowledge, understanding, and cognitive. Others is not exam. Okay? But as I explained to you all earlier, exam is efficient or effective. It's efficient, correct not? But it's not effective. It's senang nak buat. Okay? That is why it is. Now, you mustn't forget, I am explaining very neutrally as what the general theories of exams and so on. Okay? How individual schools practice, I leave it to the heads and the program leaders to do. But it's important for us to know the theories and fundamental aspects to it. Okay? And one of the final stages we have here is on curriculum review. When in OBE, it is very important. We need to do curriculum review. So when we talk about curriculum review, these are the key things. When we do every year. So like for Prema, end of this year, you want to do, follow this. Curriculum review curriculum, these are the things you look at. PEOs, PLOs, change name, duration, and so on. Then after that, you review. Okay, these are the things that you must see. You must be daring to add or drop courses. If no good, no point, drop. Good, add. Okay, teaching methods, assessment methods. What is the content? What is redundant, not redundant? All right. Last time we used to learn intro to IT. Then they will teach you Microsoft Windows, how to use. I still remember last time in my degree time in the mid-90s. Right now, we learn computer, how to switch on computer, press button. Now no need lah. Now our students, they no need to learn. So that is redundant. They throw away. Okay, because evolution change. Okay, and of course, the key aspect is what I showed earlier on. So when you talk about the yearly program evaluation or review, this is the process. I've actually set it up here. I've actually sent to all the heads if they use. Review your PEO first. Then after that, review name of the program, duration, review PLOs. Okay. Then after that, you add, drop, or rename courses. Here under the PLO and this adding and dropping, always check with program standards. Okay. Then you look into review your CLOs. Do it in your cluster. Review course content. Change if needed. Be brave. Review teaching methods, assessment methods, and then review references. Wherever you go, you can use this. If you go to any establishment, you can use the same thing. All right. I find this effective. Okay. I've been using this. This is something that I've been using in my own schools last time and so on. Okay. So you follow the same process and it becomes clear. Okay. So, as a recap. Paham guys? Okay, boleh ya? Don't just nod your head because you know you're hungry and you want to go for lunch, Even though it's true, all right? Now, OBE, outcomes-based educate. Yes, Prema?
Okay, I just want a question. If this OBE, let's say if we want to ask another school or somebody to add a program, are we allowed to do that?
Okay, you want to add is like this. Let's say it's business school. So business school every year will do program review. So what you will do is you tell the head, say that you want to be part of the program review for a particular program. Then once you are in there, you give your suggestion. The school can take or don't take your suggestion based on certain factors. One, program standards. Business school program standards maybe dictate certain things that say that must only do one course. Two, it could be financial. Adding courses will increase price. And if we increase price to a certain threshold, our program may not be competitive. Okay. Other than that, yes, very good question. You should be involved in the program evaluation, yearly program review, because you are the subject expert. All right, on that particular subject, you work in the group. Okay, but you cannot force them to put in because they are also governed by certain things. Okay, boleh?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, no problem. So outcomes-based education, it is critical. It is the way that we are structured in our outcomes, because always remember, why is it important? Because our students need to be competent. And for our students to be competent, we need to make sure the industry want them. And for the industry to want them, we need to make sure the students have the skill to meet the industry. So we need to listen to the industry and not what we want. So the outcomes of the student should be what the industry want and not what we want to teach. That is why it is important in a nutshell. Okay, I could have explained the whole 2 hours lesson with that. Okay, but that is the most important. All right, because we must do justice to our student. When they graduate, they got kerja, they find job. That is important. They are relevant. Two, as I explained, and I will take over here. What I have given you is a general snapshot of what OBE is and how we do it. Here we do it very much governed by the QA department. QA plays a very big role in ensuring the schools follow and abide. But my department, teaching and learning, we advise the schools on what they do, and at times I will involve myself in program evaluations of schools to give them feedback. Okay, but as you all now, you already seen this, it is important that if you go back to your school and then they're doing evaluation, you give your feedback. Can we look at it from our PEO first? Can we look at it, so at least there is that practice. Sometimes the school tend to forget the correct process. Okay, even though it has been reminded by a DVC academic. All right, guys, boleh? Faham? All experts already? Boleh run your own school? Can run your own institution? Can. Seriously, guys, can one. Okay? With that, terima kasih. Thank you very much. Have a very good weekend. It is a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, take a break. Very important. We need to regenerate our battery, recharge back, do whatever that is good. Take care and have a very good day and a weekend. So with that, thank you very much. See you
Thank you,
guys.
sir. Thank you.
All right.
See you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Gabriel.
Bye. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.